to the No Practice Podcast, where we cover the only sport in the world where there is no practice. With your mini rod driving host, Adam Kester, Tyler Slaw, and Chase Richardson. Strap in for some debates on the world of pulling, exclusive special guests, and a whole lot of nonsense BS. The No Practice Podcast starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, pulling fans, welcome to episode number 54 of the No Practice Podcast. Adam's already had enough of us. He's getting up to walk off. I don't blame him because Chase is actually present. Gentlemen, how are we doing this evening?
Pretty good.
Happy New Year. Happy new wide open season of the No Practice Podcast. Episode 54.
I feel like this is the longest gap we've ever had show to show, and as much fun as it is to have a little bit more free time during the week, I feel like something was missing. Adam, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I had to think back when the last one we had was actually, but yeah, we've had a little bit of time off. I think everybody's kind of got the Christmas things and done, and New Year's and all that. So. Back to the normal everyday stuff, as they say.
Christmas hangover. Speaking of our last show, Tim Engler, episode 53, I think that was our biggest show to date. Congratulations to all you fans out there for breaking the previous records, I believe, in total between podcast downloads, Facebook, YouTube, and so forth. There was over 40,000 people tuned in at some capacity, live or obviously thereafter. So you think that was because of us or Tim, though, Tyler?
Well, I mean, as per usual, Chase, your numbers are a bit questionable. But I think, as per usual, we give all of our credit to the guests. And thanks to Tim for, setting aside an evening of his to take the time to, just hang out with us. And it's pretty wild, all the stories that he has. That one's got to be right up there as far as the most people that have ever reached out to me and just said, wow, that was awesome. They didn't know to what extent of the involvement of, other motorsports activities that he was into. And so it was pretty cool to hear that side of it. Obviously, a lot of people know him from pulling, but that guy's pretty well seasoned in other things as well. So
the timing of that show, too, if you recall, it was PRI week, which I don't remember. It was that Wednesday at PRI, and the show started the next day. And I was there. I know Adam, his tractor was there, but was in and out. But I would say at least no fluff numbers here. At least 5 or 6 people stopped me that were not pulling people, that were sprint car guys that watched the show too. And man, that was awesome because we talked about in the show how big he was in the sprint car world, and you see a lot of Engler sprint car people there. So that was pretty cool. To the old fancy word, the crossover fans, but we actually had people tuned in to watch Tim Engler, from that side of the fence.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you'd ever went by the PRI show when they had a booth, this was the first year he hasn't had a booth in a long time. And just to stop by and say hey to him, he always had at least 5 or 6 guys standing in line talking to him. He was pretty hard to get a word in with. He'd always kind of, wave and keep talking. But needless to say, the past 2 weeks for him have probably been some of the busiest, just from the standpoint of the Tulsa Shootout and the Chili Bowl.
Chili Bowl's going right now, right?
It just finished up, I think. That's what they're running tonight. So, T-Mez is one of his main guys, I think, that runs. So, it's a big couple weeks for Tim and Engler. They do a lot of sprint car injection for
I think it's safe to
varieties of sprint cars.
We said it during the show, but I think we can do a couple more Tim Englers because there's only so much of him, the stories. I think this coming December would make the Tim Engler show. But definitely crazy amounts of knowledge and a ton of fun having him on. So thank you to him, and thank you to fans again for making this the biggest podcast in the sport of truck and tractor pulling. I guess we needed to have some fancy hashtag, but it's we can never thank you enough, and excited for another year. And it's not been a quiet or a boring off-season pulling, but through the holidays, what have you guys been up to besides celebrating Christmas and New Year's, Tyler? I'm sure I can only imagine with a lot of downtime what you and your father are capable of doing in terms of your purchases and everything else.
Yes, well, we had our annual hunting trip that takes place up in the UP. Bruce has got a couple hundred acres, so I got the largest deer I've ever shot, which is nothing, crazy, but a nice little 6-point there. And my brother-in-law got a 8-point, and that little coyote there was eating off of one of the gut piles, and Bruce managed to get that. So Bruce even got in on the action. But I also teased
that thing with Tyler.
What's that?
What'd you shoot it with? A dart?
No, muzzle loader.
Muzzle loader. Okay, gotcha. I didn't know how good you were.
It's always weird because you pull the trigger, and then there's like a half second in your head where you swear the gun doesn't work because you hear it click, and about the time your brain's like it's not going to work, it goes, and all of a sudden there's so much smoke you can't even see. But it's kind of a good time. But on top of that, I teased either last episode or the episode prior that Bruce had made a purchase of something that had more horsepower than our pulling tractors. And so here it is. You can see it with the cut boggers on it, but you can see the paddle tires behind it. So this is a full billet engine. I think it's got Alan Johnson heads on it, twin turbos.
It looks stupider than pulling.
Yeah,
EFI.
It does kind of look stupider than pulling. Yeah, it's EFI, so we're scared of wires, obviously. So this is going to be a learning experience. So Bruce's justification, with tractor pulling being our anchor motorsports of the family is he's like, well, someday if they ever allow EFI and pulling, we can take what we learned from this and perhaps apply it to pulling from a tuning standpoint.
Sounds like he's tired of buying superchargers and wants more boost.
Yeah, right. It's kind of funny how that works. So mind you, it's the 14th of January right now, and it was last year, January 16, where my father got in a snowmobile wreck and damn near killed himself.
Oh, wow.
That was
one year
pleasant.
anniversary?
Yeah, it was pleasant to get a phone call from, a medic in an ambulance from my father's cell phone to let me know I need to begin my 7-hour drive north to come see him in a hospital. And yeah, that was a good time. So, Bruce, not even a year removed from that, thinks he needs to hop in this. This thing does over 110 miles an hour in 200 feet. And it has like 3,500 horse. So
what do they run in, just mud pits or something?
It's like a dirt drag type deal. So yeah, I don't know if Bruce is going to jam me behind the wheel or if he thinks he should sit behind the wheel or if we're going to be too stupid to make something with that many wires actually function properly. If I had my guess, he'll probably till up part of his field this spring. And we'll just drive it around and make some test hits at home. And if that happens, I'll be sure to share a video. But speaking of Bruce's, what's that?
Can that be live?
So what has it got, a clutch pedal on it? And what do you rev her up to about, 4,000, 4,500?
I don't even know. I walked in his building and just kind of checked it out and took some pictures. I did sit behind the wheel. That was kind of neat. It is more cramped than my pulling tractor. Well, maybe not more cramped than my pulling tractor in NTPA trim with my brake pedals inside the frame, but it's
right.
It's got to be interesting. I forget the amount of G's that thing pulls when you take off and you're accelerating that fast, but it is up there for sure. So should be fun.
Explain these events. They have like events like a tractor pull where you travel to like a long distance.
Yeah, so there's a sanctioning body. There's a point series where you travel around. My goodness, I hope that guy doesn't think he has enough free time to actually participate in that. But yeah, it's not like mud drags. It's dirt drags where you line up, Yeah, so it's not quite like a mud pit. You just more so race it on dirt. So we'll see what kind of trouble Bruce can get into. But
congratulations.
The anniversary of his wreck is the 16th, which is this Friday. And Bruce, being the guy that he is going to get on his snowmobile again for the first time and take a ride to the scene of his accident where that happened a year ago. So
really,
My goodness, hopefully that guy doesn't get in another accident because I don't think I have enough free time to be driving back and forth to the hospital again. So,
Is the intent for him to get back in the driver's seat this
I
summer?
mean, I would effing hope so. If the guy's going to hop back on a snowmobile and he thinks he's going to sit in that dragster, I think tractor pulling should be a walk in the park, don't you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
More
don't
or less,
really.
yes.
Yeah, I ruled nothing out with Bruce, so yes, I guess is my answer.
Provided he doesn't get hurt on the snowmobile again. I don't know. We'll see.
Hopefully, he's
Right.
going slow.
Adam, how about you? What you been up to since we've last spoke?
Well, so we had Christmas. In between Christmas and New Year's, we went to Gulf Shores, Alabama
Ooh,
for a few days. I think one day it was 70 degrees. The rest of them, you might as well have been in Indiana. But it was still nice to get out, and we like going to that area. We got a lot of little restaurants and stuff we like going to and spending some time with our friends down there. So that was a pretty good time. We came back, and I left this past Friday to go to Grapevine, Texas. A Love's Truck Stop Convention with Shelby. Needless to say, I did my own coyote hunting. I got one on the way down there. Hit it with the truck.
how fast were we going when you hit said coyote?
75-ish.
Mm.
I couldn't really get over like I wanted to, just because there was a car coming up beside me. Down when you get into those areas, there's a certain point where you get south of like Memphis. The speed limit changes to 75. So you're just driving the speed limit, right? And I saw him in the ditch coming up, and he kind of woed up a little bit, and then I started to get over a little bit, and he shot across the road. And luckily, it wasn't a deer; it was just a coyote. It got the lower plastic on the. I sent Jason a video of the damage, but needless to say, he caught about 6 tires. And I don't think he made it. But I drove down there by myself. It's a 12.5-hour drive to Grapevine, Texas, to the Gaylord Texan, which is a beautiful resort. Apparently it sells out like every weekend, but it's kind of like the Opryland Hotel there in Nashville. But I did a display for them and had about, 3,000 or 4,000 people in a matter of about 4 or 5 hours come through there, and
Jeez.
gave away a bunch of stuff, signed a bunch of autographs, take a bunch of pictures, just that thing. My show was from 11 to 5 on Friday or on Monday. I left there at 6 o'clock, drove to, a little south of Little Rock, Arkansas, slept in the truck, which was not very comfortable, and made it home yesterday at about noon. So
when you sleep in a truck, do you stop at a truck stop, or you just pull off at a?
No, I pulled off on the side of the road.
Give some advice on proper truck sleeping, because I'm
Have a
always
gun.
like,
there is none, dude.
I
tried everything.
I was in college and went to Ole Miss with a buddy of mine to a party down there like an idiot. College story. But we were coming back. And we stopped at a truck stop, like an abandoned truck stop. And dude, we woke up the next morning. There was a dude, like a homeless guy, like on the window, like tapping, doing that. And you want to talk about like startling the hell out of you. So always have like PTSD from pulling over and sleeping, because I'm thinking some maniac's going to jump through this window or something.
Well, the part of the problem is like if anybody's on the roads, like, and you go by a truck stop, I stopped 4 different times trying to find a place to stop, and there is nowhere to stop. Trucks have filled all the way up, and the truckers, they get in there early, man, like, because they're trying to get to all these spots.
Yeah.
So I stopped. There's like 3 rest areas, and I missed a couple spots because I was coming through there and didn't see it at the right time, so I had to keep going. But I stopped 4 times, and I pulled off in this one. And luckily for me, like, I'm one of those people, like, I don't sleep very well. Like, there was a spot out of Love's, and not like where the RV parking is and stuff, like, but it's bright, and the traffic and the noise and all that stuff. Like, there would have been no way I've been able to sleep. So I pulled off at this one. It was a pretty small one, and I brushed my teeth, and I jumped in the back seat and I threw some my hoodie and a couple winter clothes style shirts together, and I tried to lay in the back seat. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people, like, if I don't sleep with my legs completely extended, I'm like, really weird about that. So needless to say, I was on the side of the road for about 3 hours, probably slept for a total of 1.
Ooh.
So I ended up just getting back up and taking back off. But and it's pretty interesting because, like Chase says, you're sitting there and you don't know what's going on, anything. I did have a 9mm Glock with me, so good luck to anybody that wanted to wake me up. It wouldn't have been very pleasant for them, but very thankful that I only hit a coyote, didn't tear anything up too bad. Traveled down there and back, and I didn't want to go by myself, but
should call me. I'd have went with you, Adam.
There's a lot of people that this time of year, they've already taken off enough work and everything that it isn't that big of a deal. I'm sponsored by Shell Rotella. They don't sponsor the people that go with me, so I don't expect them. I would rather them go to a tractor pull with me and help me there than go to a display. So it was a pretty good time. Tons of people, and it was just really good. I like doing those events for Shell. It's part of my thing that I have to do every year. Well, hit a coyote. Don't see much damage. A little blood on the trailer there. Dented that pretty good. Don't see much going on back there, I don't think. Got a little blood, guts on the truck. On the wheel well. Nasty.
Yeah, for our audio only listeners,
commentary.
what we just saw there was the video backstage finally uploaded of Adam's commentary of the slaughter of the coyote roadside.
Yeah, let me tell you, dude, when I hit that thing, I thought for sure that the bumper was caved in. I thought, because it wasn't just a hit and that was it. Like, I ran over it with every tire on the right side of that truck. It got the front, the rear, the trailer, and I guess it's one of those things they kind of teach you don't swerve because it's not really good to do. But
yeah,
like, I just couldn't. Like, I saw it coming and I couldn't get over because there was a car coming up beside me, and just luckily it didn't like hit them and then go into the other lane or anything like that. So
yeah,
pretty minimal damage, I guess, for the
coyote.
Well,
Yeah.
that coyote probably got sick of chasing the Roadrunner enough times. He just ran out in front of Adam's truck. But I've seen those things get flattened by an anvil, and they'll still come back. So that coyote might be good to go yet.
I've even seen one strapped into a tractor once, and he keeps coming back.
Oh, I've heard that.
Oh, insider's joke.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. Chase, what have you been up to?
Well, gentlemen, PRI was awesome. Pulling had great representation there from, I think there was like 4 or 5 pulling vehicles there amongst the whole show. That was a fun time. It was fun leaving there too because it came a snowstorm, so I didn't see Adam. I didn't see Adam the whole time I was there. I was leaving. He calls me. I'm like, oh, it sucks to be you. As soon as he answered the phone because it came a massive snowstorm.
One really quick, really funny that you're saying this. So I pull into Lucas Oil Stadium, which you have to go into this marshaling lot, and it's actually in the parking lot, Lucas Oil, and you got to go into this tent and all this stuff. So I pull in, and this lady's like yelling at me, "Yo, you got to back up. You got to pull over here." So I start backing up. And this truck comes blowing by me like I thought I was going to hit him. Who was in the seat of that truck? Jeff Hurt. So we go over there. I get in the tent. We get in line. We sat in line for 2 hours, and just snowing the whole time, man. Like, when we left there, it was terrible.
Yeah,
but
it was massive.
It was brutal, man.
Massive snowstorm, but we all got out of there. It was a good show. Shout out to the sport of pulling for growing its presence there every year. Then I actually stayed with Adam. I had a slumber party at Adam's house for a couple of nights.
Ooh.
Had a big press conference announcement there. The Evansville Grand National, now the Busch Light Nationals, as it's going to be called, pulling event where the city of Evansville, a lot of local people. There's a really good turnout there to announce the title sponsor of this event. Adam was nice enough to bring his tractor up there. And then tickets went on sale. Campsites went on sale. I think there was close to 100 campsites sold the first night. There's still about halfway there in what's available. So you can go to bushlightnationals.com. We've talked about it in this show, but really excited for the potential of that event. And some would argue Evansville is the pulling capital of the world for a lot of or right up there at the top in terms of just fans and people involved. So I think we can make a good showing of it. And Adam was there drinking Busch Lights with me. Then I fell asleep on his couch, actually in his back bedroom. So
yeah, I told the guy before he goes to bed, we've been pounding beers for a while. I said, "You needed any ibuprofen?" No, I got some. I'm good. He woke up. He had a pounding ass headache.
Yeah, the funniest part,
it was pretty cool. We were supported by a decent amount of pullers that showed up there.
The funniest part, Adam knows this demographic of where he's from better than I do. But the city, Explore Evansville, is the tourism bureau for that area, and they normally don't come, outside the city limits, and that's all of them right there. I think most of the people from downtown, they had a blast, and every single one of them was there drinking Busch Lights on the clock, and I think that was a little out of their norm, but it was well received and a lot of excitement around the event. So, that actual facility there is on the fairgrounds. That's where Adam's sister and I think a few people Adam knows have gotten married, but plan to do some post-event concerts and a lot of fun stuff there in the event as it gets close.
What did it happen? What happened? I think that that afternoon when he did that press release, camping went on sale, and I think 139 or 150 camp spots were sold right then.
Yeah.
So there's still camping available. Yeah, they are. But
love it.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. And like I said, we even hashed out where I'm going to park. It is in the campground. I'm parking in the campground with the campers.
That's a good move, really.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to be close to all of my family and friends. So and this facility is massive. As time goes, if anybody's been there for a pro pulling league event, they kind of know, but it's not going to be like that at all because it's a standalone pulling event. It's not a carnival. It's not a fair. It's a tractor pull. So the whole facility is open, and it's kind of neat. Where they at the fair where they usually have a lot of the antique tractors and stuff, Tyler, it's all going to be camping.
Ooh.
So, and that's a really cool area. It's a lot of trees and stuff. So there is some electric sites, some primitive, but obviously the sooner you get there, the sooner you get them. But should be a really cool event.
And that
all
makes
the going to come out about the event compared to what people would know from a pro pulling league event. They're running the tracks the other direction, which is for some people, they didn't like the staging area and stuff. Being a puller and being able to watch the pull, that'll all be changed. So I think it's going to be a pretty good event, guys. I really do. So,
that May 28th through 30th is the weekend after Memorial Day this year. So kind of the unofficial kickoff to summer pulling, typically after Memorial Day. So look forward to, I'm sure we'll be talking about a lot in this show, but having a big turnout and a lot of fun at the Busch Light Nationals. And you, the best part about this, some of these details are getting worked out, but if you're camping there, you're going to be able to buy 30 packs of Busch Light and not have to leave the grounds. There'll be more info on that, but you'll be able to buy 30 packs of beer there on site, which it'll be a little
in the campground.
In the campground, that'll be a little bit of a twist.
That's a hot setup. There's some other pulls you got to go on a serious adventure for, so that's a pretty good perk. And one good perk for Chase about that pull is you guys are actually allowed to bring your mod to that because Adam, did you see the news that neither one of the Richardson mods made it into the National
Yeah, I've
Farm
seen
Machinery
that.
Show. Do you think
Seen
that's fair, Adam, or not?
I'm not going to say because I don't get to pull there. But,
well, Adam, I
well,
asked for your
speaking of
input.
that, you know what's really funny, Tyler? I did get entered to pull in the National Farm Machinery Show this year. One of my customers submitted me as a driver of one of the two-wheel drives.
Ooh.
And luckily, I didn't get accepted because it would have been the end of the world for truck pullers if I got to pull in there and I haven't pulled a truck in my entire life but one time.
That might hurt someone's feelings for sure. Although, I mean, you got your RJ Simon. He got to pull the pro stock there, and he had only ran it a handful of times, right?
And he won it, right?
He did.
He did. Yeah, that's true.
Chase,
but,
obviously you got in with the two-wheel drive, though, yes?
Yes, we did. And look, that is an invite-only pull. Those are very hard decisions for people to make. There's no guarantees with any of it. And, hopefully we can figure out what we can do better next year and try it out then, because I think we're probably one of the closest competitors geographically to that event, which means nothing. Nobody owes us shit. But, yeah.
Are you going to – or does that mean you're going to try to run 3 engines on one tractor next year, at least for one pull?
Well, I've reached out to ask what we can do better, and I haven't got a response, so I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. So
here we see the post that Chase said, this is what it looks like when you're not good enough to run at the Farm Machinery Show Championship tractor pull. So here we've got the tractors, engines off, and you can't see it, but right behind the camera, she was crying. So
I'm actually blaming it all on Donald, because about the time they were sending these invites out, he went viral for a shirtless appearance. So the blame goes to him for his unprofessionalism that didn't allow us in. But
tell you what, Chase, the more and more I look at these tractors, there's starting to be more sponsors on your vehicles than mine.
Oh,
but that's not even counting the NTPA stickers.
Right.
But everyone that made that show is worthy. They're badasses, and it's going to be a great mod class. So,
well, the other thing is what people don't realize from a couple years ago, they've downsized the modified class.
Yeah,
they used to take more modifieds than what they do.
I
think they only take 12 now.
Yeah, but the other cool part about that show is that right now there's unlimiteds. There's what I call the NTPA, and I guess it's the Pro Pulling League or Pro Pulling Series mods that are kind of the same. Then you have light mods and then like outlaw mods and ITPA mods. Well, they all come together and modify their vehicles to make that show. I
guess they're not going to allow for NTPA's new modified rules.
The screw is it official? The
screw chargers, it's official, man.
Screws and 18s. No, we have not talked about this, folks.
What? I'm pretty sure we talked about it last show.
Did we?
I don't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So we had just found out for last show, but we didn't want to take away from Tim Mingler. That's why we didn't talk about it. Yeah.
Okay, I thought we talked about it.
Yeah. So screw blowers at 90%, which I think is not a good idea.
You know what? I say we, not to cut you off and pull a Chase here, but I say we wait to break that down with our guests.
Yes, with the
because that is a pertinent thing for sure. Florida pulls, gentlemen, you're both going down to Florida, is that right?
I'm actually here right now. So
in Florida?
I've been here this week between the two places working on some stuff.
Chase is actually getting ready for the pull right now. He's going to be down there waiting. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm getting ready for the pull, but my vehicles are not ready.
Yeah, Chase is often late for the podcast when we try to get on here and talk about it. Mind you, it's the 14th of January. The pull in Florida isn't until March 20th and 21st, but Chase is already down in Florida trying to get down there and get ahead of things. So, I mean, shows you right there. And then, of course, you got Zellwood, too, March 13th and 14th. So, back-to-back weekends in Florida there. And Chase is down there
for
already.
Fans wanting to know, I am not 100% certain that I will be there. So,
Adam,
it's a
if you
bad
want to
time of year for me.
Adam, if you want to run points, you've got to be there, right, Chase?
I know it. Yes, I do, and I understand that. But as if I had more help at my business right now, I would definitely go.
Adam,
maybe that changes.
You got to talk to the guy that hires people. You got to tell them to hire more people.
There has to be qualified people too. You know what I mean? I'm not going to hire some.
In all fairness, Adam, you hire more people, you're going to be busier.
Well, it's easy. It's very easy to fly in and out of Orlando.
I agree.
Places.
Yeah.
So.
And I think you can fit a mini rod in a carry-on. So, anyway, gentlemen, we're
Actually,
already
Richardson's will have enough stuff. Maybe they can just take all my stuff down there.
I was going to offer
there. Chase is already in Florida. So.
Yeah. And then also
Adam, take your kids to Disney World Sunday after Zellwood, 35 miles away. Chase, is that your sister with that hot piece of advice there?
Yeah, I guess she's hard. She's got back into pulling. I guess she's
35 miles and $7,000 later, you can go to Disney.
That's right, very affordable.
But so have you all gotten your invites for High Stakes Series? Because I haven't got one yet.
Yeah, I've gotten mine. We've sent in for the High Stakes Series. There is a schedule announced now for those 5 2-day events.
For the fans, that's the pro pulling series buy-in big payout events, right?
That's right. It is 5 2-day events, and it pays $10,000 to win each day. So yeah, you could, if Tanner Nelson goes in there and just kicks our butts at every single event, he's going to walk away with $100,000 in prize money.
Plus, I think there is a points fund also after that.
There is, and I believe we have a pay structure. If our backstage wants to throw that up, we could take a sneak peek at that. I sent it in the deal, but sometimes they're a little shaky on the details there. So yeah, official schedule announced, and dude, I'm excited. We sent in for it. I think there was a first batch of invites that went out to the people that ran the Champions Tour last year. And once they, gather who's going to partake based on that, then they're going to send out that second round of invites. And I'm thinking Adam will be a part of it. Chase is probably on like the 5th round draft pick, if I had to guess.
How do you get invited?
What's that?
How do you get invited to it?
I ran the Champions Tour series last year.
No, but the additionals.
Oh, you'll probably receive an email, Chase.
But like, is it they got the people that do the farm show doing the invites? Like, who's doing it?
No, I think there'll be a little bit more pizzazz to that. Like maybe if you showed up and supported a Champions Tour event. I'm just speculating, So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
So if the ones that did not run the circuit, the additional invites we don't know the criteria.
I'd better not say. Maybe it's a mystery. Maybe they do have the farm show people doing it.
I'd love to get in it. What do I got to do?
There's that purse payout per night. First place $10,000, second place $7,500, and all the way back to 15th, paying out $1,000. So,
and what was the buy-in? The buy-in for your vehicle?
I believe it was 11,000.
11,000. Oh, Adam, you do have an invite. You knew.
Oh, Adam's got an invite. He's just sandbagging you, Chase.
Damn, I can't get one.
Well, maybe if you play your cards right.
Well,
I'm not saying. I just know the structure. I don't know if I got it in there or not.
Well, I
did go to a Champions Tour event though last year.
That's right. That's more than Chase can say.
The way the Postal Service works, maybe mine's just stuck in the mail somewhere.
Yeah, if you have Verizon, maybe you had those problems with emails today.
Yeah, that was a real thing, wasn't it?
Chase, maybe your invite to the High Stakes Series and the farm show for the mods got mixed up together in the mail, and it's just kind of more of a logistical deal.
Yeah, that's the times we live in. I'm blaming it all on that. So
that definitely happens.
This is pretty exciting stuff, and they announced the actual locations of.
Yes, they did. We have the schedule. If backstage, we're done looking at the purse payout, and now we're going to look at the schedule.
Fans, we apologize. We have a little bit of a handicapped backstage operator.
He's new to this whole social media thing, so we're trying to get him trained up.
Actually, I think
somebody Chase met. So anyway, moving on beyond that, I believe we have some fan questions that we're going to. Oh wait, we just saw a comment there. What was that comment? Throw that back up.
Jeremy,
I believe it was. Anyone know if there is going to be a pull at the Mid-America Truck Show this year? I feel like Adam would have the most inside information on that. Adam, 3, 2, 1, go.
That's a good question. I don't know.
If you were a betting man, which way would you go?
How do you get an invite to this damn thing?
Yeah, I don't know about that, Chase.
I mean, what?
I've heard speculation that it possibly could be coming back. But there may be some class changes.
Oh, hey, there backstage is just now getting this high stakes series thrown up. We've got June 5 and 6 in West Salem, Ohio, June 19th and 20th at the 300 Raceway in Farley, Iowa, July 10 and 11 in Milan, Michigan. Woo! Hookin, Michigan. Big fan of that. August 7 and 8 in, how do you say that, boys? Hebron, Ohio. And September 25 and 26 in Benson, North Carolina. We are all no strangers to pulling at Benson, North Carolina.
Is there a job form or something I can fill out?
A what now?
A job form or something?
The June 5th and 6th pull is at Dragway 42.
That's right.
For anybody that knows that facility as it was previously named. I do know that.
No, but like I
don't know too much anything about Milan, Michigan, or Hebron, Ohio. I think the Hebron is like around Columbus, I believe.
Okay.
I think. I'm not sure. Somebody said that. I think so. That Milan, Michigan, I do know that from some drag racers that have gone up there. Through the drag racers, I know they raced there before, so seems to be a pretty interesting schedule there. Should be interesting.
Dude, I'm excited for it. Like, I'm jazzed up.
I've had good luck at two of the events. Now, if we get in there, I think I know what to do at two of them. I don't know what to do with the other ones.
I've gotten a first at Benson, North Carolina with my tractor, and I've gotten a first at Dragway 42. So,
yeah,
it's always fun seeing new venues. So
Chase tried to start his own high stakes things a couple years ago at Benson. We had some late night betting going on.
Where's the job form to get in this? That's like, can someone tell me how Adam has an invite? I don't.
Chase, enough with your big business jot form terms. All right.
I'm just asking what I need to do.
I don't know, Chase, dude. Like, seriously.
Once I figure out the details, Chase, I'll let you know.
Our Drive won a Champions Tour poll last year and got a third and a first. I should how do I get that in?
You went to Champions Tour last year?
Yeah, the first full year I won at Tampico.
Oh, it was Tampico. I got you.
Oh, the invite's coming out tomorrow.
Well, if you play your cards right, maybe it will be. All right, gentlemen.
The only problem is, Chase, if you look at some of that scheduling, and I don't know what class would be what, but there are a lot of conflicting events, I do believe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a problem.
Yeah, Chase.
I can only speculate at this point, guys. I'm still waiting on my invite.
So you're saying you'd deviate your loyalty?
Yeah, I mean, that's millions of dollars on the line.
Adam, what are your thoughts on Chase's answer there?
I think that means he's kind of sad he didn't get an invite.
Okay.
I'm sad. I haven't got
one. This is like the 2020 election already.
Easy now. We don't want to get political.
It's rigged?
Move on here.
Are you saying it's rigged?
Guys, we've listen. We're targeting to bring on the Leichners, all right?
We got fan questions.
And we've got fan questions we got to get to. So before Chase makes it political, let's roll into the fan questions backstage. Throw that first one up there. Let's see what we got here. And as always with the fan questions, we should say you can always call or text at any point into the show. Doesn't have to be during the show. And that number is 270-681-0509. First question, is there any news on the truck show poll? Guys, I feel like we just touched on that.
Just answer that backstage. Let's skip. We already talked on this. But,
yep. Okay, we're skipping by that one.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, look at Chase. He's trying to start a promotion here to get the invite. Yeah, enough of that. Next fan question. Let's move on here. All right. What are your guys' thoughts on the NTPA starting earlier for points in Florida for a Southern swing? Adam, thoughts?
Well, like I just covered here recently, that's a difficult time of the year for me, just for the simple fact of Man, basically from the end of the pulling season till the beginning of the pulling season, I'm swamped with people bringing me their engines and trying to get new builds and stuff done. So I think it's a good thing to have events in Florida just because it's better weather down there that time of year. The only thing that I could see that may be jeopardizing at times is it's much like the invitational pool in Fort Wayne. What is the weather going to be like the rest of the place in the country? You know, as long as it's safe traveling and stuff like that, I'm all for it. But you know, I think it's going to be interesting this year to see how things take off. I mean, the mini rod schedule has increased a lot, so I think it should be a pretty interesting year.
Chase, your thoughts?
Obviously I'm a bit biased in this, but the most relevant outdoor, what I call niche motorsports, across the board, they all kind of start their seasons in Florida.
Oh yeah,
am I right to say that?
Oh yeah.
So this wasn't a knee-jerk thing. Each of the classes here, it was kind of thoroughly vetted with the people that run the circuit full time. At least in 2025, if they'd be willing to go. I think it's going to be a pretty good turnout. I think it's good for pulling. I think anytime that there's marquee events, whatever it might be in the calendar year outside of late May to mid-September, I think it's all benefit. I mean, there's a big pull this weekend in Gordyville, and then there's another North Carolina. I think all that's good, and this level of polling coming to the state of Florida, I think it's obviously a positive. I know it's the time of year and things change, with schedules and so forth. But and on that mini rod schedule, I've got conflicting reports that that schedule is still very moving. I don't know what that means.
I've heard some of that too.
But we've heard that, and it looks the same. So who knows? But I think there's so much going on in the positive and pulling with new events, and people want classes, and as we've said when we started this podcast, the mini rods are the best class in pulling, and I think that's probably arguably the most highest demand class in the Grand National Circuit. So
yeah, I think, and trust me, I think the track, if prepared well, will be very good for mini rods. Like I think that is I've always tended to like the sandier tracks for the gear ratios and stuff that I run. It kind of suits my deal, so I'm all for it. So
someone
we'll just have to see, man. If the one positive thing that I have going for me is this year, and it goes back to the two-wheel drives. The two-wheel drives didn't get to make a lot of pulls last year. Hence, a few of my customers haven't been sending me some stuff, but there's always the ones that pull at Louisville and they wait till after Louisville to have their engine freshened up. So that's kind of where I'm, what I'm saying? That's kind of where I put my stuff in weighing.
See a comment there on Zellwood, and for you fans, I say a majority of our fans are Midwestern fans, but Zellwood is literally a suburb of Orlando. I think it's less than 30 minutes from either airport. And then Satsuma is an hour 15, hour 20, but it's basically right between Gainesville, Florida, Daytona Beach, Jacksonville, Florida. So
Chase, how did that motion go? Could you just do that again? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was just curious.
You like my dance moves?
Is that what that was?
It's yeah. Or you can get in and out of Orlando into either place pretty easy and pretty cost effective, to be honest, in the Orlando area. So
okay, sure. I had heard that perhaps Chapel Hill was wanting to start the point series with a Southern swing to maybe chop down on the numbers. That way nobody could, piss and moan that they ran all the point series and they weren't going to get the invite. Is there any merit to that, Chase?
Have not heard that at
Yeah,
all.
I think that's just speculation. All right, moving along to the next fan question here. Let's see what else we've
Three
got.
sides to every story, boys.
Yeah, you never know. All right, great show with Tim. I've watched it twice. Thank you. Yes, I think
Well done, thanks.
Tim really carried that show for us, as we expect the Leischner boys to do here shortly. So, all right, next question. Let's see what we've got here. We need a full schedule of all divisions: NTPA, PPL, Outlaw, and the big money pulls. Need to know when and where they're all at this coming season. Chase, I feel like somebody, maybe Chase, will put that together himself. I feel like so. That's Chase's homework for the week. He's going to put together a full schedule, right, Chase?
I will say this, that like from like my sponsor standpoint, and I understand how things work and everything, but I do feel that pulling is a little behind on getting the schedule out fast enough. Just for, I mean, honestly, even for me to figure out, what help. Like, there's guys that go with me that have to have a work schedule filled out at the beginning of the year, and it really intersects. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, it would be good to be able to compile all those things together. I've actually put them all on a calendar myself, just on some of the ones I've heard. It's a full summer. So
a super schedule basically is what we need of all sanctioning bodies.
To echo what Adam said, there's so much changing, I think, for the positive in polling currently. But I think historically the mentality to be slower getting schedules out is because, majority of the polls in the United States of America are tied to county fairs. And then, in the months of January, February, you have these fair conventions. I think some of that is the reason why this doesn't get nailed down. But the NTPA Grand National Circuit, I think looking at it now, I would say
it's basically put together
in a couple fairs. So I think that's a very valid point, and maybe like a lot of things, people will tune in the No Practice podcast and they'll start changing this going forward in future years. Because it's people build their vacations in the summers around this stuff. So I agree that I think the need is there, but fair conventions do play a part in it.
Sure.
All right, next question. What do we got here? I believe there's one or two more, maybe. Hey guys, big fan of your show. What option is more important to you guys, pulling for a big payout or pulling at a historic event in front of a large crowd?
Tyler, you take that one to start.
Ooh, honestly, for me, because I'm so poor, I can't afford any of this, and therefore I don't get to keep any of the prize money. My father just gets it, rightfully so. I'm going to say I'll take a large crowd. Like it's hard to beat, like, when we did pretty well in Farley last year and got a second place in Bowling Green last year. And when you get to walk up in front of the crowd, and have your little 15 seconds of fame and, talk on the microphone and just even being backed up to the sled, like Saturday night at Bowling Green, and you just see walls of people on both sides of you, man, that's pretty hard to beat. Like that feeling of you almost get a little bit of butterflies, even though you've made it down the track how many times.
For sure.
What would your thoughts be, Chase? Would you rather pull in front of 500,000 people or pull for $100,000 to win?
Well, the winning the big payouts is awesome, but you have, I haven't done a case study, but you have to perform very well to get that. And we all know how hard it is to perform well to get that. So, me, I love fandom. I love I think all three of us love, pulling fans and like the awareness of pulling and like our podcast is a small part of that. But, everywhere you went to at an NTPA Grand National Pull last year, where it didn't have tricky weather, I think they were close to all record crowds. So I like going and seeing those people there, seeing people that, fans are, there's two different ways of looking at this. The big money payouts are really funded by your entry fees and other extra money, but fans are what creates value in a sport. And I love, I don't think anyone doesn't like pulling in front of big fans, and I love seeing these fans and these events grow. So I would say pulling in front of a large crowd is awesome. But if I was guaranteed to win every big payout pull, I'd probably take that, but that's not realistic.
Adam, what do you think?
Well, I think they kind of go hand in hand. I think the large crowds come because of the size of the event, personally. So, like, take for Louisville, everybody thought, how neat would it be to pull at Louisville? Louisville traditionally has higher paying deals. Bowling Green, traditionally a little bit higher paying. So they kind of go hand in hand. But, yeah, I mean, you'd be ridiculous if you said that, oh, I don't care who watches as long as I pull. I want the best for the sport, like – going to Bowling Green, the reason why you go to Bowling Green is to pull in front of a bunch of people and to try to beat all of the people. Yeah, all the other competitors, yes, but we're all kind of selfish in our own rights to want to pull in front of a big crowd. We didn't spend all this money on all these vehicles and stuff to pull in front of nobody. So, like, in my case, the bigger crowd we can get around, I always enjoy that. So some of the highlights to me, yeah, pulling at Bowling Green, getting to pull at the Mack Trailers truck show pull. That was awesome, man. I mean, it was like it's a different feeling. It's a different feeling going there. And then it's even if the purse wasn't any higher, it still's like a heightened awareness. I mean, Farley had a pretty big crowd. I mean, 50,000 to win. That was kind of like, yeah. Everybody's a little bit different at those events. Like
historic. Yeah,
yeah.
It's like the aroma around that night with running for 50,000 is unique.
Well, it was crazy for like me. Like I was first pull on Saturday on Friday night, so it's Thursday and Friday and then Saturday. But on Friday, I was the first hook. I made my pass, and I sat with my tractor, and I didn't watch a single tractor go down the hook because I didn't want to jinx myself. I just sat out there, and I'm like, man, just get me in the top 10, please.
And a final comment to add to that, and I love these questions. Fans keep sending your messages in. If Tyler, Adam, or me, when I get my invite, if we won every high stakes pull this year, it's $100,000, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's correct. That's still not going to flip our bill for what we put into it. It's nice. It's great, but it's still not going to flip the bill. And
still get. Please invite me.
Hopefully the decision makers are watching. I expect an invite tomorrow, but neither here nor there. We have always the biggest part of our show is our guests. We have a Hall of Fame pulling team family and group, the Dirtslinger pulling team. I think they're coming from multiple locations as
2025 NPPA pulling family of the year.
Yep, pulling family of the year. We have Jed and Bill. Looks like they're probably at headquarters. Shannon looks like he's probably somewhere just got off a snowmobile, and Matt Johnson and Abby joining us from a car. So hello team, happy New Year. I think we need to start with Bill. Then I don't know. I'll let y'all decide the pecking order. You're saying your lows, but thanks to you all for coming on and the No Practice Podcast and the 2025 Pulling Family of the Year. So Bill, the floor is yours.
Well, the Pulling Family of the Year was quite an honor and a surprise. I mean, it caught us off guard, and that just says something about our family. And there's a lot of good pulling families out there. We were quite honored. The second year we kind of run points, and that was really quite an honor for our whole team and family. And our team is a family.
So I think we need to go down the line and everyone just do an intro. Bill, no offense, but you are the face of this team, and there's a lot of people that make this go around for you. So maybe you can get there, and then we'll go to each person, and you can tell us where you're actually looking. Start asking Bill. We're going to have to ask you who your favorite kid is at some point, but we won't start the show with that. So Jed, you can fire away that we can go around the circle there. Say all your hellos. Oh, we got the other.
Thanks for having us on.
Jed, you can introduce yourself, then we'll go around.
I'm Jed, Bill's youngest son, and just part of the team.
Well said. Down below there to one of the two twins.
Well, I'm Shannon. I'm the middle son, or
oldest son, Sean.
And there's my twin brother, the oldest son that nobody even knows about.
Yeah, so give an intro. Nobody knows that Shannon is a twin. There is actually a better half to those two, and his name's Sean. So make sure we tell Sean, introduce yourself. And he goes a few pulls a year, right?
Yeah. We call them banquet points.
There you go.
He was disappointing last year because he usually shows up for the banquets, but he failed to do that this past year. He didn't
Oh,
make
is that
it.
why y'all won Family of the Year? Because he wasn't there?
Probably.
Just kidding. Where are you all located, Sean and Shannon?
We're
Right
in
now.
St. Germain, Wisconsin, on Big Lake St. Germain. We're up here snowmobiling for the week.
How many miles do you guys put on today?
We didn't do shit. We were. We had a good time. How's that?
What is the ratio of miles put on versus beers consumed?
Well, I don't drink beer anymore, so
Oh, you
Sean,
don't?
Sean can handle that one.
Oh,
It's a good ratio.
yeah. So what are we talking? Like 80
10
miles?
miles per one beer, maybe.
Well,
10
today
miles
was
per beer? Is that what it
it's
was?
probably like a 2
Probably
miles.
2 miles per beer for him today.
Okay. Wow. You're either really
His,
getting into the beers or you didn't do a lot
Sean's
of
new
miles.
girlfriend is with us, and it's her first trip snowmobiling, so we were on a little bit of a slower pace today.
Okay. That's reasonable. Hopefully Bruce maintains that
Yeah.
slower pace.
And
this
I
week.
brought up Bruce to
Yeah.
her as caution. Don't override your ability right now. Is what I
Yeah.
told her.
Shannon,
We don't
is
wanna
that
have-
you? Is that you implying Bruce overrode his
No,
ability?
it's not. And I thought about that as soon as I said that, Tyler. That's
Yeah.
not what I meant. I just
Yeah.
didn't want her to override her ability. I mean, we know Bruce is a good rider.
Somewhere Bruce is sitting in a shop watching this, going.
Yeah, don't read into that any more than it needs
What
to be.
could have been?
I'm just saying one of my good friends got hurt on a snowmobile for her.
Okay, well, and then we've also got Abby, who claims to be the most talented driver of the bunch. Isn't that right, Abby?
Oh, I don't think that's true, but I'm definitely the youngest.
Okay.
You
okay,
definitely
fair.
won. Speaking of high stakes, you've won more money than any of them, probably in their lifetime combined, right?
Maybe so.
Maybe so. And your significant other Matt joining us as well. Matt, do you think it's true Abby's the best driver of the children, or no?
I mean, her record says something. She's giving me driving tips right before we come on here, so it's daily.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. In all honesty, Jed doesn't get behind the wheel often, but I feel like when he does, he's a bit of a force to be reckoned with. Like, do you know what your stats are overall there, Jed?
No.
No.
I saw his trophy case too. It's pretty
Almost
impressive.
get fair.
You can tell him I don't like
What?
bragging on myself. So.
Well, they've all been pretty blessed. You know, Jed drove at the Illinois State Fair for the first time with 4-engine mod, and he won. And then he won the next 3 successive years. You
Yeah.
know, Abby, she drove the Mini and helped win the championship the year she drove. And when Shannon first drove, he was a hero the first night and won with the 2-wheeler. The next night, he set the front wheel on the 300-foot stake, and they called him out of bounds. So they've all been blessed, and we've had good luck and fortune on the first time we pulled. When I started pulling with Rex King, he did very well pulling all the time, and I did poor. So at least my 3 kids, they always did good.
Yeah, I feel like as dominant as you've been, Bill, I feel like somehow your children almost have a better record. It's pretty ridiculous, really. I feel like Bill went through all the hardship to learn things the hard way, and he just passed those lessons on. Is that right?
I would say they've been around it their whole lives. We maybe missed out on some sporting events or other parts of life, but we've got good friends and part of a pulling family that's pretty awesome. So what they missed out, they gained more.
One of my questions is, why has Sean never driven, or has he?
Nope.
No, no
Yeah,
desire.
He should get to drive sometime.
I haven't seen the desire.
Okay.
I like
Yeah.
to watch and just watch the family do well.
There you go.
Yeah, in your defense, Sean, I'm also in the mindset that if my dad tries to get a 4-engine tractor as well, I'm going to take up the Sean Leischner program, and I'm just going to show up for cold beers and sit in the stands and just go woo when they go down the track. And
You
that's
can sit
about
with me, Tyler. We'll have a good
Yeah.
time.
it. Yeah, that's a warning to Farmer Bruce.
I just got a
If he
text
gets
from Farmer Bruce with a
he
thumbs
gets
up too, Tyler.
creative there for sure. So, well, Bill, I feel like you've got to take us back in time to how this all began, which led to us all sitting here this evening. Just tell us the story right from the top.
Well, I got started with a good friend, Rex King. You know, Rex could do about anything, build anything, and he had a twin-engine tractor called the Dirtslinger, and he let me drive it once at Farmer City. And you know, I'd only driven farm tractors at the local pull and stuff, so I said to Rex, I said, why don't we take your twin-engine tractor and build a triple? And he said, great. I said, I'll just pay the difference and we'll have a tractor together. And we had a great partnership. it just worked out good. And Rex was good at building motors and doing everything. And then we went to Rick Kipley, and he helped us out. And we went to Aries, so it just stepped up from there. But I owe a lot to Rex King and Rick Kipley. And then that was back when we got involved with Walsh's, and we had a lot of good notes from Walsh's, and they helped us, get going. And a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of people at home helping do things. And that just took off from there. And, we had that and went to put the blowers on. The tractor was really tough in Illinois and the national circuit. I think out of 600 pulls, we probably had 95% success ratio in the state and stuff. So we had a good start. That was a good tractor with the Aries, built by Rick Kipley, and it was just awesome.
So then from there, where did that go? I mean, how many different tractors have you piloted over the years? Keep walking us through that timeline.
Well, we went from the triple engine injected to putting the blowers on, and then we got a two-wheeler, and we actually took the motor. The third motor of the tractor was the two-wheeler motor, that we were 4 pullers in, and that's what we did. And at Toma one time, I don't remember the year, but I was in the mod class on one track and getting ready to pull, and Shannon pulled the two-wheeler and made a full pull. I said, you got to get that thing back. And we took the motor out of the two-wheeler, changed oil, and set it in the tractor in 15 minutes. Then I pulled in the mod class. But those kind of things, we ended up buying a two-wheel drive motor from Ray Carpenter. It was one of the motors he built for wintertime pulling. It was supposed to be kind of a pooch, and it was a 557 Aries, and it ran really good. They built those 600 and some cubic inch motors back then and found out they weren't as good as the 557. And then we ended up buying Floyd's Toy, a two-wheel drive. So we had two two-wheelers and had the mod. And then it just kind of went up from there. And we got rid of one two-wheeler, then the other. And then we got the second mod, winning that mod from Simon when he had the raffle. So we had 2 mods for a while. We thought we could improve it and trade it. And we've struggled with some of the second mod, but it just takes a lot of work with 2 mods and everything that's going on.
It's quite a lineup for sure. And there for a while, you guys had the turbine tractor. Shannon, did you primarily drive the turbine tractor when you had that?
Not at the beginning. That was more of a Joe and Dad thing at the beginning. And then I think, I don't know, when the two-wheeler kind of started going away, that's when I started getting into that, trying to figure it out. That thing was just kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Now, everybody says turbines are supposed to be kind of maintenance-free. You would disagree with that compared to the piston engines?
I would much rather have 5 piston tractors than 1 of those turbines.
Oh my, that's quite the ratio. Shannon, can you describe to us how a turbine engine even functions?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've seen them inside. I've been out at Brent Nations and helped them on some of that stuff. They're cool as heck, but they're just any dirt, rags. Yeah, they're hard on stuff.
Did you guys send a rag through a turbine?
Yeah, more than once. Yeah.
Now, I mean, in all fairness, in the turbine's defense, you can't send a rag through a V8 either, can you?
Oh yeah, you can.
Well, I've seen a lot of stuff go through a V8, and those things they survive. I mean, Adam can tell me about that. I'm sure he's probably seen some stuff.
Wow. My dad was at the North Carolina State Fair one time, and he had to change the blower gasket. So when they pulled the blower off, and they shoved a towel in the intake to scrape the blower gasket off, and they put the blower on and forgot to take the towel out. So needless to say, it was wrapped around all the valves and everything. They pulled it out and was able to get it to run again. So I guess it was okay, but yeah, they don't like being in there.
Now you can push a lot of stuff through those valves. I'll be surprised.
a lot of fans, we know this, but that turbine was a partnership or a collaboration with your dad, Bill, and Joe, and you and Joe, you all kind of teamed up for a little bit of time. Can you kind of, I don't think a lot of fans may know that. Can you kind of take us how that happened, Bill, and the project of how that came about?
Well, Joe and I always talked about getting that from Walsh's, and of course they wouldn't sell it for a while after the accident. And finally one day Walsh's called up and said we could buy it, and Joe and I had already talked about it, and we thought that thing would be, reliable and consistent. And it I guess if we just paid more attention to it and not had a few little things go wrong, it would have been. That one year at the farm show, Joe was leading it with the turbine with 2 engines in it, and I came back and won it. So that was quite an honor that year to get first and second. And then they've been blowing out so many ceiling tiles and scared some people, so they don't allow turbines anymore there. So we just got started and ran it first with 2 motors, put 3 in it. I think I won Chapel Hill one year with it. Probably the only time that Bill Voorhees got beat that year or something, I believe. But it was different. It had a lot of power, but we didn't have everything quite figured out. It takes more than just horsepower, and we hadn't everything figured out. I also didn't mention all the tractors. We got involved with mini rods through our friends overseas from Europe, the Boers. That actually come about through Brian Knox, and that's how we started driving the minis, and that's how Abby got involved driving the mini. We were in a championship race, and I said I want to put Abby in there, and Bettis said, okay, put her, it was his decision, and he said put her in there. And she won the pole, and we won the championship that year. So we've had a little of everything. I'd like to drive a pro stock sometime, but I doubt if that ever happens.
Oh, I'm sure somebody out there would swap seats with you for a pass for sure.
I think that'd be fun.
What? So we I actually had a question about the Bobcat team, and we'll get to who we need to blame on the idea of letting Abby drive and win all this damn money. But before we go there, I had a question regarding turbines, being that you all, turbines is kind of an interesting evolution in the sport of pulling. In my childhood, that was the dominant thing in unlimiteds and a lot of the modified classes. But there's been some teams really chip away out of it. Like, what's your all's thoughts on turbines and pulling? And seemed like they've had some recent success the last couple of years. And I'm not, there's no right or wrong way to do anything, but sometimes it's, they take a little longer to run in a show, but at the same time, fans like to see them because they are different. So,
sure you want to go there, Chase?
I want every single person on here to answer that question. All of our guests. Let's just move right down the line.
Let's start with Abby. Abby, what's your thoughts on turbines? Then we'll go to Shannon.
I'm not going first.
Abby, give us your thoughts. Come on.
No, I like what we have going on right now. I'm good with
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Abby,
Matt,
like turbines.
Matt, what are your thoughts on turbines?
I think it's good for the crowd to have something different to see. I personally wouldn't want one, but I've seen some single engine turbine stuff do good in Outlaws where they're winning when we've run with them a little bit. So I think in certain applications they look like they're pretty competitive.
I'd agree. Everybody likes a little bit of variety. Sean, how about yourself?
I like them. It's
like
a
'em?
different sound to hear.
Yeah.
We're 2-1 right now. 2 for, 1 against it. Shannon, your turn.
Oh, man. I told you earlier, Chase, don't ask me something if you don't want my opinion. I mean,
You should decline the invite.
We want it, Shannon. Give us your opinion.
Well, I enjoyed the hell out of the turbine.
Okay.
It was a totally different ride. I mean, it's something that you can't explain. It's so much different than a 4-engine tractor. It's just a totally different deal.
Okay.
But what I don't like about the turbines is you can't police them. There's a lot of stuff you can do to them. There's a lot of horsepower available that nobody's going to police. And it's out there. That's all I'm going to say is it's out there. Just
if that's such just a easily tappable into, horsepower
it's
source.
not easily. It takes money and it takes the right.
What would it take based on your knowledge, Shannon? How does one juice up a turbine to really get in there and start kicking butt?
You get to the right guy with the right dyno, and you can start doing some crazy stuff with a turbine. Is all I got to say. That could be ugly. And
Jed, what do you think?
Could
Does
do that.
Shannon know what he's talking about here, or is he full of it?
I think they need to keep the turbines in the airplanes and helicopters.
Oh,
Jed talks on that one.
Okay. Father Bill's final thoughts on the jet engines. Where are you at?
If they get them started and they get them, get where they can start them quicker, I think it's a nice, different view, and it's something different for the fans, and they all like them. They put on a fire show. That even helps too. They just need to work on getting them started. I heard at one time they had a pogo stick overseas. When they lock in gear and stuff, they could push that pogo stick and release the pressure on the drive line so they could get them out in and out of gear. And so they could drive them out on the track then and start them. The worst thing is the time it's taken away from the show. You know, one's not so bad. You get 2 or 3, and then if you're waiting 10 minutes on one, it really slows the show down. And as far as pulling, and Bargie's had some success lately, and he's done pretty good. You know, he kicked all our asses up at Hillsboro with it, made a hell of a nice pass. So they're fun to watch when they go down the track good too. Sure, different noise. They're all right if they get them started. That's what I'll say.
Okay, you're not
Have
worried
a
about
mandatory fire show with the turbine.
mandatory fire show. I like that. Bill, do you think there's any merit to Shannon's potential cheating availability there?
You can't. I don't know. You can put different wheels and stuff, but the main thing is buy the bigger one or buy a later model, which costs a lot of money.
Okay.
I don't think you can. The old 64Bs and stuff we had, you could change the wheel and gain a little. You can put water in them, but all the horsepower doesn't necessarily help them. One advantage they have is an air clutch. You can put the wrong gear in it and you won't burn your clutch up because it's an air clutch and it'll slip if it needs to or lock up if it does. I think the advantage is once you get the gear figured out, they can be consistent. And I think that's why you see them do well on a little poor, hard track because they'll really turn the RPMs and turn the tires.
Oh, you better be careful there, Bill. Are you trying to say Don Slamo's track was poor and hard?
No, Don Slama's track was not. That was an excellent run by Bargie's on that track. It took power and front end weight. They had it all dialed in. Yeah. Normally he has a really good track, so you can count on Don Slama's track to be good. But I'm just saying sometimes on a track, a turbine can do better when it's not quite taking as much power.
Yeah.
So the final vote for the Dirtslinger team is 3-3. So I guess turbines are going to have to stay until y'all can.
Hey, I want to add something, Chase.
Yeah.
I'm not against turbines.
Okay.
And since we're going to talk about turbines, I mean, the king of turbines out there right now, Bargie's do a hell of a job. They're quick. I mean, if you would actually time them, they're probably quicker than a lot of the guys trying to start 4 V8s, to be honest. So as far as the time thing with them guys, I don't think they're ever an issue. And they're just good pullers too. So
you don't have beef with those boys? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I think they're awesome for the sport, to be honest.
Okay.
I agree.
Well, thanks for diving. I think that may be the first time we've ever talked about turbines in this podcast. So thank you all for giving the fans the detailed dissect. My next thing I got is, that we were talking about the $50,000 to win event. The Dirtslinger Mini was the winner of that this past year. Maybe the only time we ever see a $50,000 to win. That's the wrong tractor backstage, but the $50,000 to win event. So the Dirtslinger Mini debuted this year. Explain, I guess, the evolution of that tractor, and it's probably you've been asked it a million times. Of what's it like to win $50,000 at a pulling event? I would say that question's for Matt or Abby, either whoever wants to take it.
Both of them.
I'll let Bill lead on this. It was his idea originally.
Well, Matt had a nice Mini, and he sold it to the Nelsons. And we turned around buying the same thing, and we just got together and thought we needed our own Mini when we're places. It'd be kind of fun to have that along, and Abby did good driving it. And, we got along good with Boers, but they'd bring somebody over some of the big poles and drive. I thought we had time and enough people to run the second Mini, so Matt and I started out, we're going to be partners, and Matt decided to take over on the whole thing, and Matt funded it. Of course, Abby's driving it. And she does good on a Mini. She's lightweight. She's not afraid to push the throttle, and she doesn't give a damn if she tears it up. So she has no conscience when it drives, and that helps. Sometimes when I drive, I may want to back out or not tear something up. You gotta go balls to the wall. And for a young lady, she's got them and does good.
Was it? I don't want to discredit something that I don't know, but was that the only event that tractor's won? Am I right to say that? Ever?
Correct.
Yeah, we also wouldn't have bet money on that tractor at Farley.
Hang on, you did.
I did.
You paid the entry fee. That's betting on it.
Yeah,
and that bet paid off pretty significantly. So I don't know if
we'd make a run and burn up a points box, and make a run and burn up a points box.
Yeah,
so
5 points
it was a struggle.
Yeah, that'll happen. So Matt, when Bill said she's not afraid to tear stuff up, I saw that raised eyebrow expression there. Based on those
Yeah, I got
stats
receipts.
of carnage per pass, is there any chance at Abby hopping behind the wheel of your 4-engine tractor?
We talked about that at dinner.
Yeah.
She could probably drive it better, but I did a pretty good job tearing stuff up myself last year.
Yeah,
so.
I saw Shannon with the no on the head shake. It seemed to. Shannon, thoughts on that?
That'd be hard to recover from.
Be hard to recover from.
I love my sister. I love it when she's in the mini. But wow, she's been hard on my time this summer.
Yeah. Abby, is it true that you told Shannon if he'd build a better motor, that wouldn't be a problem? Or
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
It's funny. You called it, and she's probably said it. It's okay. It's all good.
Shannon had a point to make with throwing the Vinny motor in it, and we got that done. So,
yeah, they all wanted to take that out Friday. After she got 8th on Friday, they all wanted to take the motor out, is what I was told. And I was really campaigning to do some changes that I wanted them to do. Of course, I was at a baseball tournament with my son, so I wasn't at Farley. But I was like, hey, if you guys do these changes, I think you guys can win. And by God, they did it, and they kicked some ass.
So let's step back there and give some credit to that cylinder head maker, because there was kind of a backstory there taking shape that I think it's fair to say not a lot of people know about. Who wants to kind of tell the little bit of a backstory on the power plant in that thing and the cylinder heads, and Shannon proving a point there?
I wanted to prove a point that we could win with those 2600 Vinny heads. I love that cylinder head. I just recently kind of got into those heads and really like them. I mean, let's go back. My all-time favorite motor is our old 10-liter Aries. I mean, with the Fontana heads, that's my favorite motor ever. So before anybody starts thinking that I love the Vinny that much, I do like the Vinny. But man, I tell you what, the 2600 Fontanas that we had were awesome. But this 2600 Vinny deal, I was out to prove a point with the mini rod, and Matt let me do it, and Abby did a hell of a job driving, and they all set it up good. I mean, took everybody, took Dad. We took them all, so it's cool. We got the win with the 50 grand with the Vinny headed deal, and Matt's like, okay, let's put the fat head back.
Is that what you guys did after that?
Yeah, we took that motor out, and we put another 2600 in just as a place saver, I guess. And I think we ran at Rockwell with that, and then it didn't work to our advantage. Let's just say Rockwell didn't work well for us. But then we put a fat head in it. Oh, where was it? Hillsboro. She got a third with a really stupid soft tune-up with a lot of, we really backed it down just trying a few things. And then Bowling Green, it was actually pretty soft at Bowling Green, and she was trucking. I mean, she was hauling ass. She had a lot of miles per hour, and it was a repaired block, and the block just gave up. It was all brand new parts, so it was an issue. And she won't have that problem now. She's got brand new stuff, and Matt's got her a hell of a nice piece in there, so should be good.
Very nice. Judd, thoughts on the Vinny cylinder heads?
I think they're good. They ran good for a long time. We ran them for a lot of years, and we had 2 and 2 for a while and did pretty well with it. So I think they're good. Just a little bit harder to get parts for now, probably.
Okay. Yeah. With Ken Venny, moving on from being the owner of that, basically, right? Having sold it to SSI. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Kim was proud that those heads won that pull.
What's that?
So I think Kim was pretty proud that his heads won that pull.
Oh, I would imagine. I'll bet he was ready to just run up and give Shannon a big hug and a kiss for sure.
Yeah. I got a 2-part question. The first question would be, walk us through winning a 4-engine modified on a raffle.
On the number 69.
That's right.
Number 69, because you were 69 years old, correct, Bill?
Well, I graduated from high school in 69. So I'm always got a little rhyme that says, sin and sex, women, wine, we're the class of 69. So 69 always sticks in my mind because I graduated.
Wow, that wasn't where my mind went with
That's
that.
a great way
Bill.
to say that, Bill.
That's pretty vulgar, you know. Jed is blushing over there. Look at him.
So it's my high school graduation year. That's what it is. And that's,
I got
Yeah.
you. Oh, that's what it
picked
was.
that.
Couldn't remember exactly what it was.
Because you get like take me back to the raffle. You got to pick your number, right? That was what you asked for.
I bought two numbers. I picked that one, and whatever was left, I had one number for the Europeans for the Bobcat team, and one for us. I had two, and then I'd kind of forgot about the raffle. And RJ called me up when I was backing out of the driveway in the car, and he says, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm getting ready to go over to Jed's." And he says, "You won the raffle." And I said, "What are you talking about? I didn't even know they were drawing that night." He said, "You won the raffle." He said, "You had 69 and you won the raffle." And I said, "Holy shit." So I drove over to Jed and Hannah's, and Hannah would come outside screaming because she'd heard it too. And she just come out screaming, and we were just floored that, we were the lucky ones that we paid $2,000 and won a $250,000 tractor. So it was
Right.
pretty good experience.
It was 2,000, and how many spots were sold?
There was
100?
there were
250.
250 sold at 1,000, so they got 250 grand for their tractor that
Yeah.
way.
It had brand new superchargers on it. Because
Did it?
RJ, like, they bought the tractor, I think they put some tires on it, and because when they bought it from Bunnage or got it from Bunnage or however that was.
Yeah, it was Bunnage's old tractor.
Yeah. And I just remember RJ's like, "Yeah, I bought some new blowers for it and got rid of the injector hats and yada, yada, yada." And I'm like, and then they got rid of it, which they get rid of everything they own. So that's no surprise. But
Yeah.
I just thought that was very wild. Like, I bought tickets for it. I ain't gonna lie. I did. I bought a ticket or two for it, I think.
I mean,
Not
the money
that I
us
needed
pullers spend on parts and stuff, $1,000 for a raffle ticket to win you, a $250,000 tractor. That was kind of a no-brainer.
So what ended up happening with everything with it? Like, you guys ran it for a little while, right?
We ran it for a year, and it was doing pretty decent. And it really needed more front end weight, kind of like our Dirtslinger. And then Shannon knew there was a history on the tractor that Boyd's had, what Terry Jostock had at the time. Who had that, Shannon? That where we traded Terry Jostock and
That
got
was
it
built new. Steve Boyd's the only one that ran that tractor before us.
Yeah, and Terry bought it, and we bought it. We traded with Terry. We traded the yellow Engler frame that was one in the raffle and thought we'd upgrade ourselves. We just that's when it had problems. The reverser was out in the middle, and it was tearing the reverser up every time it made a pass. We just
There was too
struggled
much
with it.
flex.
Too much
Well,
flex.
Too much flex. It was moving around too much. Everything was moving.
Somewhere once again, Bruce is sitting in his shop going, "I tried telling him that."
Yeah, sure of that. Yeah. It's actually his old gearbox on that tractor.
Oh, there you go, Dad.
Yeah.
Maybe if you had a better
Yeah.
gearbox, it would have been fine. How
Needed
about
his
that?
cradle deal.
Yeah, I feel like, by the way, we have to, from this point forward, refer to that tractor as the yellow one as the Big Bird tractor. It's been very
Yeah.
weird to me that nobody's called it that yet, because I feel like that's what we all called it, right?
Our friend Merle, he loves it, and he still talks about the Big Bird and wish we still had it today. But Merle liked that tractor, Merle Kimmel, and he's partial to that. I guess it's still sitting around at Craig Sage's right now.
Sitting out of chaos right now.
Oh, sitting down at Chaos.
What's out at Kevin's?
Shout out to them. I got my new Chaos sweatshirt on too. So yeah, and thanks to our backstage, there's a shot with Bill Leischner with a Bowling Green ring. Very topical for what we got going on here. So
The second part of my question after all that would be, what are the plans for 2026 for everybody here?
ooh, that's big.
Well,
Abby, you start.
We just paid entry fee today to run the high stakes deal, so we're going to do that plus a few NTPA shows, I believe.
Which tractor?
High stakes with the mod and the mini.
Yep, all four, I believe.
How'd you get one of them damn invites?
So worried about
You got to know the right people, Chase.
Did it come in mail or email?
You're still waiting on the mail.
I think she faxed it.
Yeah. I got mine in a carrier pigeon, Chase. Maybe leave a window open.
Please
all right,
invite
maybe
me,
it'll
Steve.
show up.
Maybe a homing pigeon will
Seriously, I'm
deliver.
being very sincere. Who decides who's in and out of this? Because I want to call them tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Bill did a lot of legwork on that, so he gets the credit.
Gotcha.
So I got to call Bill?
Yeah.
Bill, can you get me in?
I don't have many pulled. We pulled with them last year a couple times, and that made the difference. If you pulled with them last year, then you had a chance of getting in. If you didn't pull with them, you're at the bottom. I don't know what their criteria is and how many they got, but we didn't get an invite the first time around. There was 14 tractors that got points. We didn't get points, but we went to their pull. As a first year, I never paid a membership, but I pulled with PPL forever. Have a good history with them. We pulled Bobcat Jr. with them for a long time. Won points championship. I don't know if that carried any weight or not.
So the criteria is there is no criteria.
Well, no, Chase, what he said there is if you support the organization, then they'll look to you.
I love the
support.
organization.
Well, I didn't say whether you love it or not, whether you support it or not.
Didn't
All
Chase
right,
win a
so-
poll, Tyler?
I didn't.
Yeah,
mean
he
to
said
make
he
it
ran.
about
He
myself,
won
but I
Tampico.
I'm trying to figure out how to get one of these damn invites, and they got an invite too. So everybody but me got an invite. All right,
You
so
even won a poll, right?
you're running your mod and mini in the high stakes, Matt. Is that what we heard?
Yes.
Yes.
Said all four, so that means the Bobcat
Oh.
Jr., Dirtslinger 1X, and the Dirtslinger Mini are all running, right?
That is correct. We found out today that the minis got in.
So who's driving?
Bill? Who called you to tell you that? Can you give me their number?
We got the head of PPL. You can call Jonathan Mears and Christy Asher.
All right, I'll call them tomorrow. Thank you.
That's settled. Now you know, Chase.
That's all I need to know. Someone just give me an answer. So the are you all have one tractor into the farm machinery show? Your mod, Bill, is that correct?
Yeah, the Dirtslinger's in. Matt did not enter the 1X. He didn't know whether he'd have time to get everything ready. So I guess that's why you have to ask Matt why he didn't enter.
There you go. Matt, what do you think?
Tore up too much stuff trying to run unlimited at Bowling Green. So
Yeah, tell us what happened at Bowling Green, Matt.
so we had a very good first pass. First time I think we got third with unlimited. Then we made the podium with that. Then made the podium Saturday afternoon with the mod class.
Should have quit there.
Yeah, I should have quit there because the fuel tank developed a crack in it, and we thought we were fine, just keep it full. It sucked there, and 3 of the 4 motors blew the burst blades. And one of them blew a hole in the intake, and it ran backwards for a while, so it wasn't a good deal.
Matt, we've got a TIG welder in our trailer. I could have taken care of that for you.
Yeah, lessons learned. Every lesson cost me money somehow.
Yeah, that is typically how that goes.
But it was fun. I just didn't want to commit and then not be able to make it for parts reasons or something. So we'll go and support Bill and have a good time and help him and Jed.
Yeah, the beers will be cold, no doubt, for sure.
Correct.
Looking forward to it. Shannon, what are your thoughts on the high stakes series? You gonna be behind the wheel at all summer, or what do you think?
Oh, I'll be at the events. That's for sure. I think it's a great thing. Got to try to propel the sport wherever we can. I mean, every avenue has to be explored, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Jed, your thoughts?
It'll be interesting.
It'll be
Come on,
interesting.
Jed, talk up.
Yeah, getting a lot of information from Jed right now.
I'm looking forward to going to Bowling Green and Toma and Farley.
Okay.
But Jed has some news to tell that is going to limit some of his tractor pulling. Tell him.
Yeah, she's pregnant and due with a baby June 5th, so my pull schedule might be a little limited.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
This will
That's
be
awesome.
This will be number
Congrats.
2, Jed.
Thank you. Do what?
This will be number 2.
Number 2. Yep, another boy. So
Wait,
Congratulations.
Jack, you got to tell the name. What's Jack think the name is?
Jack says we're going to name him Bill. He says it's baby Bill. So.
Baby Bill, I like that. Bill, how honored would you be?
I'd be very honored because Jackson is Jackson William, named after me. So I don't think Hannah's going to be too hep on naming another boy Bill.
Yeah.
That's not to say we won't call him Bill.
Well, speaking of names, this is actually a rapid fire question, but I'm going to take it from that. And I feel like I know Shannon good enough to ask this without him being offended. You guys, in your own opinion, Shannon, we'll start with you. Is Shannon more of a girl's name or not?
Oh, I fucking hate it.
Do you hate it?
I
Okay.
get so tired of going to Walgreens or Chick-fil-A and you pull up, what's her birth date? You son of a bitch. It's me. Or, you go, I was at, honest to God, 2 weeks ago, I went through Chick-fil-A and I get up and this little queer-looking bastard goes,
Oh,
I'm
I like
sorry.
language.
Language.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, he goes, you don't look like a Shannon. I was like, oh, yeah? What's your name? He goes, John. I said, how do you know you look like a John? And I won't tell you what else I said because
you
I
got
just
him good though. So
I believe my mother.
Bill, was Shannon supposed to be a boy-girl twin? And you just left it alone?
I got vetoed by my ex-wife, and she was like the turbine tractor. I thought she was going to be consistent, low maintenance. So talking about Abby's mom here, I got to be careful.
Yeah. She wasn't as consistent performing as you had anticipated and was so much maintenance you had to send it down the road. Is that what you're saying?
I can already see the tagline.
They are Sean William and Shannon Edwards. So I got my name in on them, but she took the first name, and I did not like that from day one. But it is what it is, and they're great twin sons. So
that to be said, there are numerous people that go by their middle name. So you could be just Edward Leischner.
Ed. I think I'll just stick with the Shannon for now at this point. I've made it 51 years this way.
I kind of like the Ed and Jed combo.
Yeah, Ed and Jed Leischner. That's what it is.
Bill,
It's actually Shaman according to Jake Hughes.
Yeah,
I like
Shaman,
that.
of course.
Bill, you're a Hall of Famer, but you gave a Hall of Fame promotional line for this podcast tomorrow. For anyone who wants to watch later, the tagline's going to be, find out what turbines and X's have in common. No practice podcast. Well said.
I don't think I'm like too well anyway on the other side, so I didn't hurt myself any probably.
No, this is all about being yourself on this show. Shannon, not to change the subject to a somber topic, but there was a time when the Boyd family was deep into the modified pulling, and you left your dad's team and went to work for those guys. We recently lost Steve. Take us through kind of that voyage for you and how that happened. And, I know it's a very somber subject, but we need to talk about it because that was a big part of your pulling history.
Oh, you mean about the whole, going down there and stuff is what you're asking?
Yeah, just your experience being there and all that.
Oh, it was great. I mean, it was awesome. I kind of backed away from pulling in 14 and a little bit. I went to a couple pulls in 2015 again, and I was at Hillsboro, and Jason Davis came up to me and he says, "What do you think of Washington?" I said, "I don't know. Don't know anything about it." He goes, He goes, "We'd like to hire you." I was like, "You couldn't afford me." He goes, "I don't think you know who we are." I was like, "I know who you are." Well, I found out they can. So, and then, but no, I mean, it was honest to God. It was awesome down there. I took some knowledge down with me that, I'd gained with my dad and our whole team over the last 20 some years, and got to do a lot. I mean, hell, I got to work with Adam. I mean, it was cool. I mean, Steve was awesome. I mean, some people think that, he just blew money, and he didn't. I mean, you had to account for everything. I mean, that whole operation was first class. I mean, without a doubt. Steve was awesome.
In those years, Shannon, were from what, like 2014 to, I don't know when they got out, but you were there.
I was there. I started in September of 15, and I left December 31st or whatever it was of 2021. So, yeah.
And at that point, you kind of came during that time. That was interesting for a fan. You were only helping Steve. You weren't really helping your dad. I mean, you support your dad, but you weren't able to.
I mean, I helped Dad as much as I they would allow me to. I mean, as far as my dad would allow me and listen. But no, Steve Boyd from day one always wanted me to be 100% involved and help my dad. He was always for that. I mean, let Dad dyno some motors down there once. I mean, Steve would help anybody. That's the thing. And he was definitely 100% behind our family. I mean, he wanted to make sure that I was good with my dad because he had me down there. I mean, I'm sure that's how it was. I mean, the whole Boyd family was awesome. I mean, the whole group. I mean, Greg and Austin and Mike and Karen. I mean, they're all good. It's a good group down there.
So I feel like we can't mention, Shannon's time at the Boyds and without talking about the dominant Bowling Green pass when Steve had the screw blowers on. And that's one topic. But after that pass, there was a rule change limiting overdrive on screw chargers in the quote-unquote unlimited class. Is that correct, Shannon?
That is correct.
Yeah. Tell us your thoughts on that.
I think it sucked. We were just starting to get somewhere. I mean, those blowers weren't even turning close to what they were rated for. That's the thing. I mean, people just got scared when Steve kicked their ass, and it's just the way it is. I mean, Steve made an awesome pass. He would have done the same thing on Sunday. I think it was Sunday when we pulled. He had a good first pass. It was a crappy track. I mean, but everybody, I mean, I love crappy tracks. I love tuning for them. But he got a little eager in his pull-off run, and tires kind of got out from underneath him, and he just kind of let off of it, which sucked. But I mean, he had a good pass on the first time. He had the most dominant pass on his first pass on the second day. So it was, I mean, that tractor was going to be really, really fun, and we were going to make more power and do more things with it, we think. And then we got limited, and then we just kind of lost interest in the whole screw blower program after that.
That's fair. Now, speaking of screw blowers, I feel like we need yes, there's Mr. Boyd himself. He was a character.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. Let's talk about the new rule change in the modified class, allowing screw chargers. I want to hear everybody's thoughts on that. Let's start with Bill.
I think it's a good idea. I think the 4-engine tractors definitely have a little advantage with torque. We have a disadvantage of weight, getting enough weight on the front end, but I don't think it'll hurt anything to give them that option to have, 94% over on the screw chargers and put 1871s. They'll be a little bit better than a 14, but I don't think it'll hurt anything. Make good competition, and I like competition. I like to win with competition. That's what it's all about.
Jed, your thoughts?
I think as long as they're comparable in horsepower like we think they will be, it should be good. If they start beating everybody, then maybe they'll give the 4-engine guys some weight or something. We'll see.
Shannon, based on your experience dynoing motors back to back with, and similar motors at that, with both screw chargers, 14s, and I would imagine a mix of 18s as well, did they get that rule right, or do you feel like it should be tweaked?
No, I think for right now it's really good. I mean, we dynoed a lot, even down at that blowover drive. I mean, I talked to Brad Benedict quite a bit about it, and it's funny because I guess the rule didn't pass, and I called him and I was like, what the hell's going on here? I said, you need to get some more tractors in that class. You don't want that mod class to die. I said, tell them they need to allow screws. He goes, well, what do you think? I said, I think 92 over. He goes, well, I just presented 94. I said, well, I think that's fine. 2% is not much different on that. We dynoed at 92, 94, or whatever you want to call it, and I don't think they're going to dominate that class at 92 over or 94%. I mean, if you give us 15, then you're going to have a lot of issues. But
give us the details. How's it compare horsepower-wise to a 14 or an 8?
Well, I mean, 14s have come up a little bit from when we dynoed the screws then, but I mean, an 18 is better than a 14, but it's not leaps and bounds. I mean, there's potential with an 18 that we didn't do yet. I mean, if I had an 18, dude, I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff I'd change now. So I could probably improve the horsepower on an 18 over what we were doing even back then, and we made a lot of changes then. But the screw blower, I mean, I don't think they're going to dominate that class. I still think a 4 Hemi 871 at 45 over, I still think is going to be the most powerful thing in the class. Where the 3 screws or the 3 V8s have an issue or have an advantage might be on a track where you don't have enough front end weight with a 4-engine tractor, but I really don't think that's that big of an issue. I think you can make other changes to make up for that. And I know my team doesn't agree with me, so with that,
Divided team. I like it.
yeah. But I mean, I think it's great for this class because I think it needs to be. I think we need more avenues for these screw blowers, 1871s, and I know the other classes don't want it. Everybody's scared of this, but I mean, they always want to compare tractor pulling and drag racing. Well, we can't do. We always had to be limited in what we could do in tractor pulling. We always went back. They said, oh well, the rule in drag racing is this. Well, now drag racing allows all these other things, and we can't do it in tractor pulling. So, I mean, it seems to me like there's just people making rules that only want it for whoever's making the rule. I think there needs to be more classes with the screws in it, more classes with the 18s in it. Just figure out a balance for horsepower. I mean, NHRA's doing it, IHRA's doing it. Let's be able to move these parts around a little bit. It sucks not being able to sell an 871 to somebody. It sucks not being able to have an 1871 to be able to sell to somebody. You know what I mean? It needs to be more universal for everybody. There's a way to make it all work.
Fair enough. Matt?
So this mod rule, forgive me for my ignorance, but are they going to allow this in the high stakes?
I have no idea. I doubt it. I think they're scared of it.
They voted on the rules at the meeting that I wasn't at, so they can't change that. That's Pro Pulling League rules, and they voted it down at their banquet and their meeting. I wasn't there, but I'm pretty sure that that's not going to be allowed because they didn't pass that.
Understood. I didn't think so. I was just asking. And then to follow back up on that, that's good commentary on the screws. Bill, you're arguably the longest standing modified puller active out there. The last couple of years, what you call the outlaw mods and the NTPA light mods is kind of really grown, I would say. I don't ever remember myself you running 2 engines. I think it's always been 3 or 4. I'm sure there was a time, but what's your thoughts on the light modified class coming onto the scene? And it seems to be, it could be argued it's growing more close to popularity as the regular modified class. Would you all ever put one together, or what's your thoughts on that class overall?
Back when we ran 5,200 in the NTPA, they had a 5,200 pound class, and I loved it with 2 motors. We ran the original Dirtslinger that Kipley built that Walsh had with 2, and we put the 3rd one on and run the 7,000 and 9,000 pounds. But that was a fun class, and you had to drive it and figure things out. I really liked it. And then Louisville ran the 5,800 pound in that, and I think the tractor won it 4 out of 5 years. Steve Johnson won the one that tractor didn't win. We run 3 of them. The thing about the twin engine, I mean, you've been involved in it. The sled guy can set it, you can get speed up, and they can stop you. It's a hell of a show. And the unique thing about tractor pull, they're going to stop you no matter how much power you got. We're all on the same track trying to go I guess 350 or 320. They seem to think, but it's a fun class to watch. It's a fun class to drive in, and you have to drive it. It's a lot of fun. I loved it when we had it. I mentioned to Jed it'd be fun, and Jed thinks I'm crazy.
Would you? So I guess Jed's votes against it. Would you ever consider putting one together if the class continues to grow like it is?
Well, we could take 2 motors off and put the right gear in it. You can take a 4-engine tractor. Look what Sullivan did. I mean, he's right up there at the top he just took 2 motors off the back, put the right gear in it, tires. Tractor pulling, other than the turbines, is a lot about tires and the blower. Adam builds a good motor. I think, and like Shannon says, he can take any motor and win, but it's all about tires and blower and setup and somebody driving. It's all good. That's why it's good competition.
Bill, I would prefer to refer to turbines as X's moving forward. Like when you make further statements, you got to throw in the X's. No, but I'm very well said. And then anybody can take this, and Adam or Tyler, you all might know it. But am I right to say that in Europe, they have equivalent to a light mod class unlimited? They don't have like our version or your all's version of a modified class with the 71s. Is that right to say?
What do
I
you?
don't.
They got a light mod class over there. It's got
No. So I'm sorry. They have a light mod and unlimited. They don't have a class like you all run in Europe, right? Like
yeah,
they-
they have a mod
Yeah, dude.
class. It's a little heavier weight.
It's similar, but I don't think they can run 4 Hemis with 8s. I don't believe
They can run 3 Hemis.
they can run 3 with 14s. That I believe they're all limited to 40 over.
Yeah, I think so.
So they have 3 different modified classes, I guess is my question. You that confirming?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I feel like we need to touch on, we're very quick to say, oh, the Bohr family, my friends over in Europe, but I feel like there's a lot of people that don't know how that relationship cultivated. Like, that's a pretty wild thing if you think about, like, you guys are just good enough pals, they come over here, they've got their tractor. Like, I feel like we need to kind of tell that story. How did that whole relationship start and get to where it is today?
Well, that actually started with Brian Knox. Had a relationship with him, and of course we were dealing with Brian Knox on our motors and stuff. He was Sassy Engines. I was good friends with him and got to talking to the people overseas and offered to haul their tractor around when they were here. They came over and brought their whole rig that one year and ran the circuit. I don't know, we were Chapel Hill or someplace, and they got stopped by the DOT and they pulled them out. They might have won that championship that year. I don't know why they called me. I was a PPL puller back then. They wanted me to try to do something for them, but we just got to be friends with them, and they needed a home base over here, and we just kind of all got along good. And Bettis was the owner, and his son Barry, and the whole team. And Bettis is just a hell of a nice guy and a hard worker, and he's successful in his business. He owns all of Bobcat in the Netherlands, in Holland, so that's like owning all international dealerships or all John Deere dealerships in the state of Illinois or one state. He's been very successful in that, and he's very smart. I mean, he came over here and laid down the floor, works on stuff, and puts bearings in. I mean, he's hands-on, and he's the brains of that. And we just hit it off with them and Helma. That we're just all such good friends, and it all came about from just offering to haul their tractor around. And we hauled it here, and it became their home base, and it just grew from there.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome for sure to think about that. And you've driven one of their tractors over in Europe too, haven't you?
Yeah, they invited me to go over there. I don't remember what year that was, but I drove their 14. What was it?
14. 2014. Yeah.
2000, that was the year our axle broke off. Anyway, that was the indoor pole in Ahoy. And they invited me to come over. I said, yeah, I'd love to come over. And they said, you're going to drive? I said, no, I don't need to drive. I'll just come watch. But they let me drive. And they said, we don't always win. And I said, well, you look pretty tough to me. But anyway, we drove it and we won the pole over there, the indoor pole. So that was quite an honor and a lot of fun. And, it's just been nothing but good friendship and work ever since.
Pretty awesome for sure. We've got a question here. Who came up with the idea to spin an engine in reverse rotation? People have been doing that for quite a while, have they not?
I suppose the boat racers had it originally. That came from Rick Kipley and Walsh's. That's who started that. Offset the gearbox and run the reverse torque. That came from Rick Kipley and Walsh's.
Okay.
They knew boats and stuff ran backwards with the drives and stuff, but I'd say Rick Kipley and Walsh started that in the tractor pulling world.
Very cool. All right. Well, I mentioned the rapid fire segment earlier, and so I feel like we might as well dive right into that. This may take a bit of time with everybody here, but hopefully you're all. What's that?
Can I ask a question?
Well, yeah.
Sure.
It's to Adam, because he's a hell of an engine builder. I'd like to know what his opinion is on all that mod class. I was wanting to ask him when we were talking about it, what he thinks of those rule changes. His opinion.
I think it'd be interesting, if you start obviously, what they did. Here's my opinion on the overdrive thing. Like, I think when you boil down some of this stuff, it's what they try to do. And like you said, the drag racing and the tractor pulling really doesn't over. But when they turned the overdrive on, when they turned the overdrive down in drag cars, I think they thought, oh, we're going to slow these cars down. Well, when you start accelerating the engine, the blower still turns fast. So in my opinion, if you take a guy like Theobald, for instance, that really turns a lot of RPMs. I don't think 94 over is slow enough. Now, is it sustainable through the whole year? I mean, their tractor ran damn good, in the unlimited class. I don't know what overdrive they run. If they run 115, 120, what do they run? But it is good for the simple fact is like I get to see Steve Bollinger put his screw blowers back on, and it'll be interesting to see what he has to do because he had some success with it in the unlimited class there when they started. As far as bringing people to the class, I don't know. It'll help out. It'll bring a couple more tractors maybe to the class. I don't know if it's the correct venue to, you make some people spend money, other people don't spend money, or they have certain things. Like it's just a really weird thing to tow. Is Brad Benedict going to take a motor off and run them? I don't know. Is Nathan Fry going to, put 18s on and pull one off to run there? I don't know. If they do, it's great. And if it improves the numbers in the class, then I'm all for it. I just think that, it'll be interesting that first year to see if the overdrive is correct for the screw blowers. Because depending on if a guy wants to tow the line, all you have to do is turn some more RPMs and those blowers are going to make some big boosts. So that's about all I have with it. I like the screw blowers, but if you want to buy 3 of them, it's $150,000. Like there's those things when they first came out. Chase would know this. When they purchased those blowers, maybe some of the first guys, you could get those things for $15,000, $17,000. Now it's 40, 50. You see it all the time for the price of them. So I don't know if really if a guy goes out there and has success with screw blowers, does that mean everybody's going to buy screw blowers to compete in the class? Are they gonna allow the do the 18s have an overdrive limit? Are you going to allow the 8s to get more overdrive? I mean, I don't know. I think it's good to try to influx into the class, but is it really going to improve it? I guess what time will tell. So that's about all I got to say about that. If anybody thinks I'm wrong or indifferent on that,
I like what you said, but they did leave it open to where they can adjust if they need to, which I think is smart. But
yeah, it is. It is and it isn't. I mean, we all went through the mini rod thing here a couple years ago. Whenever they changed, when Vinny came out with 45.9% overdrive, and a bunch of people in the know thought that it was a good idea to be underneath 45% and make us all buy pulleys and all this stuff, and for 1%. Well, and then when some guys couldn't get there, we went to 45.2 or 4. I mean, it's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Period.
Yeah, we're still not under 45%. So the rule reads that the old rule read that we were supposed to be a maximum of 45% overdrive. And previous rule enforcing people said, well, as long as you're not 46, that means you're at 45. Right.
And that rule is like that forever.
For decades, I feel like.
As long as Ken Vinny was pulling, and he's been pulling a long damn time.
Yeah. And so now the current rule is like 45.2 or 0.4 or something like that. And so a lot of people.
And for anybody that doesn't know, I mean, Chase has awfully have shown you, like, you don't even have to run 20% to have success. I mean, that's where I'm kind of going with some of this stuff. Like, I think those numbers that people, just because they own a dyno, well, if anybody in the sport of tractor pulling knows, dynos do help. But tractor pulling, the best thing about the sport is that you don't have to make the most power to win. It helps, but like everything's achievable with the setup. So I think at the end of the day, and I'm going to sound wrong for saying this, but you got guys that come out and spend a bunch of money and buy blowers, and they can't sell their 871s, but they went ahead and bought 4 more ones. I mean, you guys have bought blowers, you guys have upped your programs, you got newer chassis, and you got things like that. And for a guy that maybe doesn't compete as well, if they have some parts laying around that maybe make their tractor a little bit more competitive, I don't think it's fair because somebody spent money and they're trying to handicap them. I mean, arguably, your guys' tractor's just as powerful as Simon's, and you guys have gone back and forth. I don't believe anybody's really put serious effort into making really focusing on a 3-engine tractor and doing well with it, my opinion. But
yeah, I feel like when people have asked me like, oh, well, is so-and-so just dominant because of, the combination and the rule package? And I feel like 9 times out of 10 are probably higher. If somebody's dominant, I don't think they would be any less dominant if they chose to focus the time and effort on a different rules package combination. Like most of the time, they've just put in the time and the work. And if they would have focused on something else, they could have done it. I mean, how often have people talked like if somebody really wanted to push the Chevys, and get some badass Alan Johnson headed Chevys, that you could put together a pretty sweet, 4-engine Chevy tractor in the mod class and probably be quite competitive with it. Now, it might not be cost effective compared to a Hemi, but if somebody wanted to put the time and effort there, they're probably going to be successful. Do you guys feel like pulling should ever get to where, drag racing is? You guys had mentioned, they can tweak the rule, and in NHRA, sometimes they will tweak a rule from an event to an event. Can you imagine, if Matt puts on screws, he goes out there, kicks everybody's butt, and before the next weekend rolls around, they back his overdrive down?
Well, not even that. They did it with the 871s. I mean, they talked about it even like this. Like they brought it down to 45. There was talk of even taking it down to like 30-something.
But that's year to year at least. What are your
thousands of dollars to change some pulleys
sure.
we're going to have to change them again. And I don't like that. My opinion.
Should they at least lock in the rule for a year, though?
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously, they don't need to at this because I honestly believe, like, and I'm not calling shots here. I just think some guys, if with the right setup, it's really going to mix some things up. Does that mean that, other people ain't going to spend a little bit more money and be completely dominant again? I mean, I don't know. But as the way I see it, I think the Leischner team and the Simon team and Matt Johnson, you guys have very dominant tractors, very good, powerful running tractors. I think it's not, I wouldn't say it's not fair, but I'm just thinking it's a little aggravating to see you guys built a vehicle for the rules of the class and you're kind of getting, picked on a little bit. That's kind of what I feel about it. When I see you got to spend, 4 engines worth of pulleys, depending on if you have to buy tops and bottoms. I mean, that could be multiple thousands of dollars to maybe the next weekend they go, well, maybe you need to change that again. I think when you start down that path and you start changing rules very often, it creates a bad type of deal. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion.
A bad precedent. Yeah.
Yeah.
On a side note, I love Overdrive Talk and I love this podcast. Abby and Matt, where are y'all driving to?
My daughter Gracie had basketball practice, so we're driving back from the city right now. Say hi, Gracie. Peek around here.
Is she hiding?
Yeah. Peek around here.
Basketball practice, that was a decent ways away, huh?
Yeah, it's 1 hour each way, but they're
wow.
We can almost see her, Matt. She's not quite there yet. She's hiding.
Ask her what she thinks about screw blower overdrive.
I don't think she's interested.
Matt, what does she like better, a dirt track racing or tractor pulling?
Oh, she's probably a dirt track racing girl. She hasn't been to many tractor pulls yet. We're going to try and change that up.
So open us up to that. Tell us a little bit about your background. You've obviously done some street stock pulling and stuff, or like some super. Or I don't even know what they call those trucks, like a pro street truck or whatever. But kind of run us through your ranks from truck pulling and even the dirt track racing.
Yeah, so I started dirt track racing in 2001 when I graduated, and I think it was 2020 I got that pro stock truck from a friend of mine, Kyle Sullivan in Iowa, and we ran it for a couple years with the state series and outlaw, and then I reached out to Bettis about getting a mini rod chassis, and he said that he had one for sale and it was in Weldon, Illinois, and he gave me the guy's address and name and number. So we were working on a nutrient job down the road, so like, all right, I'll call Bill. So I called Bill up and he's like, yeah, come on by. So I showed up at the farm one day and met him and Jed and made a deal on the tractor. And here we are 5 years later. It's just turned into a good relationship for me. And they've always treated me like family. And we've had a great time learning how to pull with them.
Right on. So there's the circle track deal. Like,
That's one of the modifieds I've had.
So you've had different classes in the circle track stuff?
Yeah, I started out modified like that, and then we had a late model here the past few years. We ran with they called it the Lucas Oil, the Missouri Late Model Racing Association. So the good thing about late models is it's like two-wheel drives. You can run them all over the country with the same rules package. So
Yeah.
They have big paying also?
do what?
Do they have big paying events also?
Oh yeah, I mean most of the late model races minimum are $5,000, but they pay up to hundreds of thousands of dollars to win.
Is the investment to prize money ratio better than pulling, Matt?
Oh wait, yeah, you can have a top-notch late model ride for a little under $100,000.
No kidding. Does it get the juices flowing like pulling does for you?
I would say yeah. I mean, you're sliding around the corners at 100, pulling tear-offs and bouncing off of people. It's a good rush. You can just the problem is somebody can junk you in 2 seconds and you got nothing. So
Yeah, if we could do that in pulling, we probably all wouldn't be such good friends. Can you imagine?
If we could do that in pulling, I would put Adam in the wall and I could be in the high stakes series.
Oh. Yeah, Chase, something tells me if we could do that in pulling, you'd never make it past turn 3.
Well said.
Yeah. All right. Well, back to the rapid fire topic. We better get going with this. I don't know if we've ever done a 6-way rapid fire, so we're going to have to keep this moving. So these are just quick questions, no explanations needed. We'll work our way right through the lineup. We'll start with Abby, then go Matt, Sean, Shannon, Jed, and then Bill. Outside of pulling, what is the highest horsepower thing you've ever driven? Abby?
you're talking to you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably your car now.
My car, yeah.
Wow,
My car.
very, very impressive, Abby. And what car is that?
BMW M50i.
Yeah, I'll bet that's putting down big power. Matt, what about yourself?
Oh, I'd probably say that Pro Stock, or outside of pulling, that'd be the dirt late model engine. It's a all aluminum, 950 horse, 13-degree headed motor, probably.
Okay, those are good numbers. Sean, how about you?
Probably a farm tractor, 4-wheel drive farm tractor.
Okay. Shannon.
It's either a farm tractor or my buddy's airplane. I don't know how much horsepower it was.
Okay. Jed?
Be either our big farm tractor or one of the semis, or both around 600 horse probably.
Oh, those are good numbers. Bill?
I'd have to say the same thing. That tractor and a semi are both around 600 horse.
All right, it's hard to argue with. All right, going back to Abby. Would you rather go to jail for 6 months or go to jail with a Rubik's Cube and you get out when it's perfectly solved?
Rubik's Cube.
Probably longer than 6 months.
So you're basically betting on whether or not you can solve a Rubik's Cube perfectly in 6 months. Abby goes Rubik's Cube, and Matt says she's going to be in there longer than 6 months. Matt, what are you going with?
Life sentence.
I'll just take the jail and get it over with.
You're taking 6 months.
Yeah.
All right. Sean, what do you think? What kind of numbers are you throwing down on a Rubik's Cube?
I'm taking a Rubik's Cube in probably 2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks. Shannon?
Oh, I could do a Rubik's Cube. That's not tough.
Have you done it perfectly?
Yeah, I've done a lot of those. That's not
What-
big.
He's done a lot of Rubik's Cubes. There you go. We're learning things. Jed, how about yourself?
I'll do the Rubik's Cube.
Okay. What kind of time frame you getting out of jail in?
Can you take the stickers off, or
No. No foul play. No cheating.
I'd certainly be behind Sean's 2 weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay. Bill, what do you think?
Less than 6 months, I could get it.
Less than 6 months. All right. I like it. Back to Abby here. Who is the better driver of the Bobcat Jr., Bart, Barry, or Abby?
Bart.
Matt?
Bart, very.
I've never seen Barry pull, so I'm going to go with Bart.
Okay. All right. I'm surprised Abby didn't elbow you. Sean, what are you thinking?
I'm going to stick with family. I'm going to take Abby on this one.
Shannon, your
Thanks,
thoughts?
I thought I was saying Bart and Barry.
You gotta listen. God dang it.
Well, I'm going to say
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Bart, but there's more to it than that. Yeah. I mean, no, Abby's great, and so is Barry, but he's got finesse, man. I'm telling you, that kid can drive.
Yeah. Jed, your thoughts?
I'm going to pick Barry because nobody else did.
Oh, you're going Barry. I think I'm with Jed on that. Bill, wrapping it up. What do you
Bart
think?
because of his experience. He and Abby are both light, but Bart has more experience.
That's good. That's good. All right, and headed back to Abby. This is a bit of a spelling bee round here, Abby. Can you spell platypus for us?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No cheating.
Let's look it up on the phone real quick.
Yeah, we got to get off of Matt and Abby. We need to see everyone to make sure Shannon isn't looking this up on
I'm
his
not
phone.
looking it up because I'm not even going to answer.
Abby, spell platypus.
I think we stop after Abby.
P-L-A-T-Y-U-S.
Yeah. This
What
can
was
be an
that?
Abby question.
P-L-A-T-Y-U-S.
Yeah, you nailed it. All right, fine. We won't make everybody else spell it. All right,
Wait,
if you had to pick one, what's that?
Is that actually how you spell it?
Yeah, you nailed it.
I knew there was
If
a
you-
Y. All right. Okay,
If you had to pick one restaurant to have move next door to you, what would it be?
Ooh.
Yeah, keep it moving now, Abby. We got a lot of
Rapid
these.
fire.
Agave.
What's that?
Ancho and agave.
No one knows what that is. Matt, you're next.
It's a Mexican restaurant
I'll
in
go with
Bloomington.
Texas Roadhouse.
Good choice. Sean.
Going my local Little Beaver Brewery. They have great food.
Oh, that's a good name. Shannon.
I'm going to go Snapper's Bar and Grill.
Also a great name. Jed, what do you got?
I want to go with Culver's.
Ooh, solid. Bill?
Texas Roadhouse.
There you go. All right. Out of everyone you know that pulls, who has the most unique occupation? Abby, that's you. Come on. Rapid fire, Abby. Come on.
I don't know.
All right. Terrible answer. Matt, what's that?
The funeral home people. Check it out.
Funeral home people. That's strong. Matt, you got something better?
I'll go with Don Slama. I like his style. I think I could be a John Deere dealer.
Okay. Sean?
The windmill, those windmill repair people that climb all the way to the top. That's unique.
Oh, who does that?
I don't know.
You said a tractor
Oh,
puller.
tractor pull. I
That'd be a
don't know.
puller.
Oh.
Somewhere.
Unique. It's got to be unique.
Oh.
Not a lot of people do it.
It's got to be like Shannon. It's got to be unique.
Yeah, that's no shit.
I don't know. I'm gonna
You don't
pass
know?
on-
All right, Shannon, you got anything in mind?
But yeah, I mean, hell, Adam, he's unique because there's not very many people that build motors, and he pulls and does that. That's pretty cool.
Indeed it is. Jed, what do you got?
I don't know. Maybe Joe with his hot dog stand.
Oh, I
Here
hadn't
we
even
go.
thought of that.
That's good.
Bill, what do you think? Do you know a puller with a unique occupation?
I'd say Tyler.
Me?
Yeah.
Filler Industries, brother.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, we make machines.
Surprised no somebody said Chase.
Yeah, right?
I didn't get
We're all
invited.
still trying to figure out what he does.
I didn't get invited.
Chase, this is rapid fire, so I hate to do this. You have 15 seconds to tell us what you do for a living. 15 seconds. Go.
I run this podcast.
What's that?
I manage this podcast from every week to week.
Okay, there you go. Well done. All right, moving it back now. This one's a quick one. How many 12-ounce beers would it take to fill an Olympic swimming pool?
Jesus. No phones.
Abby, come on. Keep it moving.
1,024.
1,000?
4,000.
Okay. Matt, what do you think?
I'll go 10,000.
Sean?
12,000.
Shannon?
3 million.
Jed?
300,000.
Bill?
200,000.
7 million.
Oh, shit.
How about that? Abby, you were pretty close with your 1,400 or whatever that was.
I said 4,000.
Oh, sorry, 4,000. Yeah, that was close. All right. What tractor has the most wins overall? Dirtslinger or Bobcat Jr.?
It's easy.
Dirtslinger name or that specific chassis
The
track?
name. The name
Oh,
goes
Dirts-
on.
Dirtslinger.
Yeah. Is that pretty unanimous all the way across the board?
Yeah,
It's just got the heritage. You can't mess with the amount of years that it's been out there.
50 years of it. So.
All right, this is a tough one. Abby, is a duck's bill technically considered the beak of the bird?
Yes.
What the hell do you think this shit up?
Yeah, Abby's right. She nailed that one. So moving on. You guys, coming from a farming family, what puller do you feel like farms the most acreage? Abby, take a guess.
Is it row crop or cattle included?
No, just crops, seeds into the ground.
I don't know. I'm going with
Shamix? I don't know.
Schramix? All right.
I'm gonna go with Theobald's.
Theobald's. Okay. Sean, what do you think?
I don't know, Cameron Nees, maybe? Or what's his name? Down in
Okay.
Texas.
Shannon?
I don't know. What's Masterson's, maybe? They farm a lot.
Oh, I don't know the answer. This is just all theoretical.
I don't know either.
What do you think? I put in hours of research to give you the answer?
He's running a pulling census.
Yeah, I can tell you how to spell platypus. That's about it. Jed, what's your guess?
Jed?
I'll guess Schramix as well.
Bill, what do you think?
I think there's a Morrison up north or something that pulled and farmed a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Used to.
No, he's still putting some seed in the ground. Come on.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
I think Bauer's got to be getting close to him, honestly.
I was surprised nobody guessed Bowers. Maybe somebody can do some research on that. That's smarter than me. I see somebody throwing out Farmer Bruce. I don't think he's quite breaking into the top 5 when it comes.
He's on his way. He's on his way though.
When it comes to tillable acreage, I don't think he's quite making the top 5 list there. So, all right, keeping this moving along. What pulling tech official would you choose to tile your shower?
What the hell?
Come on, Abby, you got to keep this moving.
Jerry.
Who was that?
Jerry.
Okay, Matt.
I'm gonna go Marvin. He looks like a
Oh yeah, for sure. That guy owns a multitude of tape measures. You can bet on it. Sean, who you going with?
Same as Matt.
Shannon.
I agree with Abby. I think Jerry Nelson to be awesome.
Bill, what tech official would you have tile your shower?
Scott Doty.
Oh,
There you
that's strong. And Jed, what do you think?
Does Mears count?
Oh yeah, Mears counts.
Yeah, Mears.
Yeah, that boy can slap up some tile. All right, well, I was going to end with Shannon's a girl's name, but we already covered that. So that's the rapid fire segment right there. Well done, guys.
Round of applause, Dirtslinger team. Well-rounded group there. Adam, I think you need to fire away with your golden question.
Yeah, so obviously all the years of pulling, and each of you have your own experience. A travel story that is memorable. Start around the horn. Start with Abby. There's had to be something that's happened on the road that sticks in your mind.
Oh, there's always stuff. I don't. Do you want to answer first?
It can't be a story about it. It can't be a story about a bumpy flight. You got to ride in the semi.
No, let Matt go first.
Go ahead, Matt.
So my best pulling story would probably be pulling into Bowling Green and Tyler blocking the road off to get to the parking spot. So we get out like, what the hell's going on? He makes us all get out and chug a beer before we go anywhere else. And then it was like the party was on. It was a Hodem's trailer.
The Tyler that's on this podcast?
Yep.
I've heard he likes to chug beers.
The other Tyler that's chugging beers at pulls.
It was like 1:45 in the morning too. It wasn't early.
Yeah, he's got a real problem.
That is technically a travel story because you weren't in your parking spot yet. So very well done, Matt.
Yeah, it counts.
Sean?
Anybody else?
Yeah, way back when Shannon and I went with my dad to a USHRA pull in around Akron, Ohio, and it was where the Cleveland Cavaliers played their basketball. Shannon and I were maybe a little curious and stuff, so we went back and found the basketball rims, and we're like, Michael Jordan dunked on this rim. So we took the net. I don't know what happened in the net, but it's finally gone.
It's the little things that matter.
Yep.
Yeah. I got a story. I don't even know how old I was. I was little. It had to been probably, it had to been 84, 85 maybe. So I was maybe 10 years old. I was with my dad and my grandpa. We were at a little bar eating one day. It was in the morning, or, I don't know, probably 11 or so. And somehow Dad said something to my grandpa and said something about wanting to go out to a pole out in Pittsburgh, but we got to leave right now. And I remember my grandpa just said, "Yep, let's go." And next thing I know, I'm sitting in the middle of a single cab pickup with my dad and my grandpa, and it's 3 generations of us just headed out to Pittsburgh and went out there for the weekend and went tractor pulling. So it was kind of cool. It was just stuff that you'll always remember.
Good memories.
Yeah.
Single cab pickup. That's a long way.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Bill, you have to have something all these years of traveling. We're looking for something like a vehicle fell out in the road or something crazy like that. Anything driving the semi?
The story I can remember is we were pulling down south back when we ran
Field thing.
SRO circuit or something, and I was good friends with Art Arfon and Dusty and all them, and his wife June, and we were coming back, and I said, "Oh shit, that looks like Art's trailer." So Art's trailer was on the side of the road with the tongue down clear on the road. He broke the hitch off his bus, and it was down. So we stopped, jacked it up, and put it on a block. So when he got back from getting his bus repaired, I figured he was getting his bus repaired. I didn't know what happened, and I never left a note, never said a word to anybody. About a month later, I got that block back in the mail, UPS. And so I always asked, "How the hell did you know that was me?" And he said, "There's nobody else that would do that for us, Bill, that we know." So that made me feel pretty good. So that's kind of a traveling story that I cherish.
That's pretty good.
There you go. That's a good one.
That's badass.
Yeah. How about you, Jed?
I got nothing good. I remember Steve Jacks taking videotapes apart, going to a pole one time and letting the film fly out the window of his toter, but that's about it.
How long do you think they were, Jed?
They almost got to the next semi behind us. That's what
That's
That's
impressive.
pretty funny.
That's creative.
That's pretty funny.
All right.
Videotapes, those don't even exist anymore.
I know, right? Nobody'd even know what that is flying around anymore. I'm sure he took a pencil at the end and rewound it all back up. I always like to ask people, a win is sweet, but if it's Saturday night at Bowling Green and you're last in the class, it's always just a little bit sweeter if you get to take that win from a certain someone. Let's run it right through the lineup. Abby, for you, who would that be?
Does it have to be another mini rod puller? Matt.
Well, yeah. Abby, you.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so you're saying it would be sweeter if you take the win from Matt?
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Matt,
That's
how
fair.
about for you?
That's a good one.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of guys to respect in that class.
Yeah, this doesn't mean you hate them. It could mean you respect them so much you love to be above them.
I'd say Ken Vinny.
Great answer. Sean, if you were pulling based on your experience, who would you go with?
Oh, my dad, for sure.
Yeah, I get that. Shannon, how about you?
With nothing but respect, I'd say beating Joe Eder like in the Unlimited that'd be pretty badass. He's that good, and I've learned a lot from him too. So
yeah, and big hands for sure.
Jed,
what do you
think?
It's like the official mascot of this podcast.
Yeah.
Those hands.
Jed, who's your guy?
Probably Brandon Simon, just because they're so good right now and they're on top.
Absolutely. Can't argue with that. Bill, how about yourself?
I was going to say that, but I could say Joe Eder because we're such good partners. But Ricky Rose, we always have a thing going with each other, who can beat each other. So I'd have to say Ricky Rose.
Bill, I gotta take that one step further. That's active pullers. For someone that's not pulling now, or in your history of pulling, who would that one person be? They can't be active now.
Say that again. Who's not active?
Yeah, so like if there was Ricky's active, someone that's not active that you could beat in your history of pulling, who would that one person be?
Oh, it'd be Dave Banner
Dave Benner.
or Tim Engler, either one of those guys. And I pulled against both of them back in the day. So beating either one of them would be the same thing. Dave Banner or yeah, either one of them.
That's pretty good company there.
Terry Benson says, Bill, did you guys not get in the back of a pickup to put fuel in the old dually and not stop?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
did that a lot.
Tell us how that went.
He's not listening, Tyler.
Say that again.
Bill,
It says,
Like it's on the screen, Dad.
Terry Benson, Bill, did you guys get in the back of the pickup to put fuel in the old dually and not stop?
Oh yeah, we used to have a friend. It was a good friend for a while, but I can tell you the story about that. But we won't go into that. And he smoked, so I wouldn't let him smoke in the truck. But since he smoked, I made him get his ass through the window, going down the road, go back there and smell it. I said, then you can have your cigarette while you're back there.
So do it at the same time. See how
So
it
to
goes.
be clear, while driving down the road, somebody went through the rear window of a pickup truck, which are known for being quite large. No, they're not. And they would be hanging off the side of the bed with the pump in the fill neck and refueling the pickup truck while smoking a cigarette going down the road.
Yep, that's the picture.
Okay, just wanted to make sure we painted the picture there
Didn't
properly.
say it was smart, just said it was done.
I love it. Don't let Bruce hear that because he's all about not stopping for fuel. So he'll have me doing that crap. I'll be looking like a scene out of Fast and Furious, walking between the toter and the trailer, going down the road.
Yeah, Larry Phillips notoriously has a guy that goes with him, Jim Chandler, and he smoked like a freight train. And Larry says that he goes, I'd have to piss for 250 miles, but as long as that son of a bitch wasn't smoking, I wasn't stopping.
That's pretty funny. Adam, I think your farewell question about
Yeah, if you don't mind, if you guys are all in charge of the sport of pulling, what are you changing to make it better? And go.
I'd say I'll go with high stakes and pay a bigger entry fee and get a bigger purse.
Okay.
Right on. Abby?
I'd agree with that.
Okay. Sean?
Definitely prize money. More prize money.
I'd say get it to the venues that make it more professional, I guess, like a more professional base for the venue, kind of like if it's a drag strip or just like you guys are doing at Evansville, even, not the county fair at the tractor pull, get us our own event and make it the standout, make it the reason people are going. And
You guys want to go back to Akron, Ohio and steal some more shit from the Cleveland Cavaliers?
I'd love to. I'd like to get another net. Sean's got that one, so why not? Probably had our RC cars there too, didn't we?
Jed, how about yourself?
Maybe paint pulling in a better light, so when someone thinks of it, they're not thinking of a 40-20 at a county fair. Show some of the realism we have in the sport and highlight the most entertaining classes, I guess.
Do you think the term tractor pulling needs to change?
I would say no, just maybe promote it better so they don't think of a farm tractor.
Okay.
Well said, Ed. That's a good call out.
Bill?
Have a mulligan in all your points races. So maybe it draws somebody in, or if you have a medical emergency or have something, some people don't have somebody to take their rig. So maybe that would let some people run the points series that normally wouldn't have time. And if there's a bad pull nobody wants to go to and 90% of them don't go, it'd send a message to the promoter he needs to do something. So I'd say have a mulligan.
Okay.
Interesting. There's a few circuits that do that, I believe. Not the national level, but I've heard of that before. I believe the Outlaws, you can mulligan your worst two hooks, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's not a bad idea as well, Bill. Going on 2.5 hours. You guys have been awesome. I think this is the first time we've had 6 people on this podcast. So pretty well ran and organized despite the various locations. We always try to wrap up. The floor is your all's now. Anything you all want to ask us or anything each of you want to shout out to the people that make this go? Obviously, family is a big part of pulling. This is one of the most premier families in pulling. So obviously having you on our podcast is a big deal. We've had a great show tonight. I think, Shannon, you start with you and you go around the circle and everyone kind of do their farewell. Or if you want to ask anyone a question, I'm going to take no questions on my invitation to the high stakes. But I'll take any other question besides that.
I just want to, I want to thank some of the people that allow me to do what I get to do. My wife lets me do this job that it's not a job because I love it so much. I'm, thank my dad for bringing me into this sport. Just love having our family around, and got to thank some of the guys that come out and help us. Without like Bob and Merle on that team, and Dad can name a few others, but those two are like very important in our team, and I want to make sure everybody knows that. It's tough to go pulling out here. Everybody here knows how tough it is and getting people to go, but Bob and Merle go to almost every single event with us there. You can't replace somebody like that, and when they don't go, you know it. So
yeah. And I will say this, the Leischner team always has a big group of people typically with them, and that's pretty special. The friends and family is what makes us go. Sean, I know you're behind the scenes, but anything you need to shout out or make sure we hear from you before we sign off?
You might see me more here in the future since I'm dating somebody kind of in the tractor pulling world. So.
Oh, wow. Who is it?
Oh, boy. Trina.
Hard launch.
Trina.
She went to bed. It's TJ DeClerc's sister.
Is she in the high stakes series?
No.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. I'm just asking.
Yeah, Sean, if she's hanging it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Yeah, there's a hot breaking news segment there. If she's going to bed before 11 p.m., you better get her trained up for pulling season. We'll just
No kidding.
All right, Matt, Abby, how about yourselves?
I'd just like to say thanks to Jed and Shannon and Sean and Bill especially for everything they've done for me. I wouldn't be doing any of this without any of their help. And like Shannon said, Bob and Merle, they help me every time, just like it's their own family. So thanks to everybody, and you guys do a good job with the podcast. So thanks for having us on.
Oh, thanks for coming for sure, Abby.
Just reiterating what everyone else, family and friends as well. We go to win, but it's also really fun to hang out with everyone at the end of the poll, whether you win or lose.
Absolutely. Well said. Jed, how about yourself?
Thank you guys for having us on. You do an awesome job on the podcast. We try to watch it as often as we can. And I want to thank my dad because all of us wouldn't be on here if it wasn't for him. He got it all started, and he's taught us all a lot and kept it all going. So we have a good time with all our friends and the people that go with us, and we're blessed that help us and everything else. So
heck yeah. Amen.
Thank you, Anna, for letting me go pulling.
Oh, there you go. That's a good save. You almost screwed that one up.
Smart man there. Smart man.
Yep, good save. Bill?
I got to thank you guys for the podcast, and you do a good job. It's interesting, and you can say what you want, and people can learn and ask questions. I think you guys are great and doing a good job. But I got to thank my family, my pulling family, Jed, Shannon, Sean, Abby, and Matt. And, I got to mention the names for Merle Kimmel. It's not Jed, it's Merle Kimmel. It's Bob Boyd. Zach Mills helps a lot. And, I got to go back and talk about Dingering's. We're sponsored by Boers overseas. I got hooked up with them in the beginning at the same time as I got with the Bobcat team. So they sponsor them, and that was good. And just I got to thank my fiance, girlfriend, who will never marry me, Kathy, and that helped me a lot.
She's not a turban, though, is she?
She's not turban material, no.
All right, good deal. Good deal.
Gonna keep her.
I like it.
Well, guys, if there's one thing we're no good at, it's goodbyes, and sometimes they dribble on, and we're at 2 hours, 29 minutes, and 45 seconds. What do you think? Should we just say cheers and call it a night?
I say this is a great one to start 26 with. Bill, best of luck at the farm show. Best of luck to all of y'all in 2026, and much appreciation to the whole team for coming on. And
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's
thanks,
good.
guys. Thanks, guys.
Very good.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
everybody,
All right,
for
for a couple
pulling.
weeks.
Thanks,
Cheers.
guys.
Yep.
I'm working my invite while I'm gone.
That's a wrap. Thanks.
That's a wrap.
Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the No Practice Podcast.
Have a good one. Bye.
Stay tuned for the next episode, where we guarantee there still won't be any practice.